am Sure Sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am Sure Sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am Sure Sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Good morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. As usual, I am your host, Maninzman. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. As usual, you know, we always tell people you need to stop and give thanks for life. You understand me? Every morning you wake up and you have breath in your lungs, you have to give thanks. We didn't have to be here, but we are. You understand me? And so we continually look towards the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Lord, who made the heavens and the earth. The scripture says he will not suffer our foot to be moved. And he that keeps us, he never slumbers. And he never ever sleeps. You understand me? So bless up to every single one of you. You understand me? People have to be grateful. Right? You have to be grateful that you have life. You have to be grateful. You understand me? Today I spoke to my son back home, you know, having a little bit of a cough and thing, you know. You have to tell your kids you love them. And your spouse, tell you, listen, you see, if you're in a relationship right now, you've been in there building a life together, and it's a lot of fire, stay another fire there, you understand me? Because the next one will not be fireless. You understand me? So stick and stay and fight all the way. Don't give up. Don't back down. Don't run away. You understand me? If you keep on holding on, you keep on working hard, one day victory will come. All right, just trust in the Lord, man. God will always make a way, you know. In the midst of the most difficult things in life, God will always make a way. Today, we are here again to talk about Jamaica's football, local, our domestic and abroad. But first and foremost, big up to all the persons watching. Tennessee Lewis, Fresh God, Lulu. Listen, people, I met Lulu. Big up Lulu. His son came and tried out, decent centre back. And I will say this again, like I said yesterday, Jamaica has lots and lots of talent spread out across the diaspora, right? And even though all of them may not be in an under 15, all may not be in an under 17, these people are just as excited, just as gung-ho to represent Jamaica as those who live on the island. I know sometimes we believe that there's a greater sense of loyalty for those who live in the geographical space of Jamaica, but trust me, These people are committed to the cause, committed to the fight, and they love Jamaica just as much as those who live in the space there. So I want to big up Lulu because he flew from far to bring his son to this trial. And many other parents did that, So big up every single one of the parents. I don't have all their names. I don't know all their names. You understand me? But they all brought their kids to try out for this. Some of them are talented enough to be in the pool for America, but they want to represent the land of their birth, their parents' birth, or their grandparents' birth. And so kudos to them. Unlike the people in the geographical space of Jamaica, who it don't cost you more than one little trip up to Kingston. It costs some of these people hotel and a plane ticket that can be very expensive. And sometimes it's the husband and the wife who travels and the child, 3 tickets. And so you have to big them up. You understand me? Consummate professionals they are, very pleasant in terms of dealing with them. And I wish all your kids all the best and their families as well. To all the fans of I Am Sure Sports and all the other vloggers who came with people like Jason, Mr. Wallace, you understand me? Even though Kyle, I met Kyle's father, Carl, there as well. He drove down and he met us and many others. You understand me? Patrick, you understand me? We have an ex-baller who scored one of the first footballers to score a hat-trick in a finals in the Dacosta Cup. They call him Bop, Clarendon College. You go interview him, Although he make some little rocks, give me 6 love. You understand me? Someone that can't play domino. Hey people, it's when you come in them places here and you're playing domino, tell them on them say English alone. The man them use French, I talk French, And you seriously and tongues them are speak, I code them, I code each other in a French, So the man them drop 6 love, You understand me? So you know. Yeah. The man never talk French. And I tell the man if you kill double dose, open me the game. And poor man is man never told to a pick up say a French, the man them are communicating. I think the man them are Christian and are speaking a tongues, yeah. You understand me? So anytime you're in a foreign land and you play against some strange people, you have to find out what kind of language they speak. Because if a code that you don't know. The man they give me 6 love. So you know what I do? Straight English we are dealing with. Straight English. We're dealing with straight English. Then here's how them play. You know in Jamaica, right? We have to give them look at things here. Hold on. We have a caller calling into the program. Hold on there. Yes, caller, welcome to the show.
Good mornings. I want to know, am I live?
Yeah, you're live, and I am sure sports.
Yeah, you listen. I think you're an honest guy, You have to let the people them know that you get 2 straight 6 love by me and my partner, and it was too easy.
People, yeah, people. I gave the man 2 6 love, right? In play with the next man who can't talk French, and I give him 2 6. The next day, the man bring a person who talk French because he speaks 5 different languages, So I'm at the table and I hear do, and all of them think the tutu, shoo. Call them on a play. So he gave me 2 6. Then we played again, and he had an English speaking person. I'm a 6 in back, so people talk to me. Go ahead.
So what's the score in terms of 6 as we speak today?
4-3, 4-3, 4-3,
Who's
4-3.
winning? Who has 4?
You have 4 because 2 of those were in French. You're operating in French.
Just listen. Man, just tell the callers who have 4. That's all I need to ask.
Freddie
And you
Butler.
probably get 4 more before you get home.
Freddie Butler have 4. Here's people. Here's what the man. It's when the game come to a block. In Jamaica would say, how much you have? And a man wanted block him say, 2. You know what them do here? Them say, nobody said that. Just say block the game. The man tell the man say, block the game, You have to know them thing there, People, man, I'm take a video.
So, Manins, let me explain this to all the listeners now, yeah? So if I'm playing and my partner asks me to block the game and I said, "To," what am I telling him? Am I telling him to block it or not? So what's the difference if I just blatantly outright tell him to block it?
No, man, you can't tell a man to block it, man. In people, what you think about? I want to hear from the people, you know. If you think man is man, right? The man tell the man, how much you have? Block the game. Me say block the game. Is that Domino's people? And them kind of six of the man is man I get over here. But don't worry. You know, by the time I leave here, I'm going to have the record. So tonight,
All right, let's do this. I'll call back in on Friday, and then we can let the subscribers know the score by Friday. How much six of you get before you leave?
you hear that? You hear that, people? We know the people are better than man is man because they know me Domino playing on normal, you know. That was. But all I will say to you people, whenever you go to a new place, all right, here Marcel, can't tell him to block the game. Muda upset. Sure, that's the same thing to me. Man say that I know Domino.
Listen,
That's a talking.
man, that's a rookie Domino player them. Because if you ask me how much me have, I say, "To," I tell you for block it. So if me just tell you block it, they're the same for the same.
When you hear that, people, you understand me? Where you say that? You can't
All
tell him
right,
to block the game. Jason, same one.
I'll come back on.
Yeah.
I'll come back on the next live on Friday so we can give them the final score.
All right. Big up, boss. That was Freddie Butler for you. You understand me? People, and then you know what the man, they're giving the next thing. So you come to a new place, you know, to play Domino, right? Because the last time I was here, me pack him up, you know. And that's Wolf for 6. You know what the man do? The man put me with the players, them, you know. Who him the one play with, you know. You understand me? Him put me with the players, them, that him the one play with because he knew him won't get 6. But you know, man is man a Domino done. I'm me put the item in the Domino. But big up, Friday, we're not going to hear the end of it. Friday, we're not going to hear the end of it.
Man,
yeah.
I tell you, so I come a foreign for a Domino visa and run off, you know. A Domino visa, I come a foreign for and run off. I saw me there, man.
All right, bless yourself, Ultimate Butler.
Yeah,
You
man.
understand me? Because the caller, they will call in and beat you, so make sure you listen, you know. All right. So we have a next caller. Balakar, what do you think about them kind of Dominoes there?
Boy, that couldn't work with me still in a man, man. But you're going to man them place so man them set their own rule.
Yeah.
You see me?
Yeah, man. Them
But
man.
for last night,
Go ahead.
yeah, man, when you're going to a new place, they set their own rule, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, Balakar, them man want all blank on the board, you know what the man them say? Clean shave.
So you go, man. You see me? But you have to get back your score up. You can't come back at Jamaica with 6-6, you know.
No, man. I'm going to sort it out, Ball. I'm going to sort it out, Ball. Balakar, I'm going to sort it out later still. Yeah, that's why I'm going to jump around free.
Yeah, man, but me there say from last time, I say me want to call him, but the light is gone on this side there, you see me?
Okay.
When the squad is Japan, you dip on live, you see me? So, the goalkeeping look good, you see me? The defender them look good there, so. In our midfield, but we have fun to ask, but Omar Hutchins have a family problem, right?
Personal issue.
Okay then, well, the midfield alright there, so then, Demaro Phillips, if he say he could have going team there, so what, so you say, alright, so, you have a problem, hold on there, you have a problem in our midfield the same way. But as you said, the coach never see the ball, so, him call who is here already. Because
which ball are you talking about?
You see him have time at the midfield. Like as the wingers.
Midfield?
Yeah, man. You know, have him in a forward. You have him in a midfield with Bobby Reed, Demario Phillips, Ravel Morris, Daniel Johnson, Lambert. Then him have him in this, so me just wonder if he carry him this, and he more use him as an attacker savior like with the whole of them. Cause but me did I say just because Kaim Paris just a come back from injury and him not for no world of farm or him play now and then because them a try to protect him injury. I understand so me did I say see if I could have gone so. You understand that a one. In the forward line, me would have liked to know why the coach carried three similar strikers. Corey Burke, Shaman Nicholson, and Chevante Stewart. Three similar strikers that that come like a waste when they carry three similar strikers. But as well, at them they pick them team, them know what best team. So all we have to do is watch and see what happens.
Which other
And
strike?
then
Which
after
other
the game,
striker? Which other striker would you bring in to replace one of these strikers? Seeing that they are similar. Like
as well,
what?
me say, man,
Yeah.
is man, me, in my opinion, me that carry whisper because if me have Chevante Stewart and me have Shamar Nicholson, or me have Shamar Nicholson and me have Corey Burke, me not gonna need a next striker but play the similar like them. Me go need a different striker, and even if I know whisper. They still could have carry a more mobile striker, if you get what me I say. You see me?
So what if Corey Burke, who is very mobile, will provide that, and the other two strikers, because Shamar Nicholson is really different from those two. Shamar Nicholson don't really play with his back to the goal. Nor does Corey Burke.
No, he not play with him back to the goal, but him can play with him back to the goal. If the coach asks him to do that, he can play a post up striker. You understand? A lot of time we see him do it in club them. They will ask him to alright, play number 10 and then they say alright, go and go play centre forward. And when he go play him play post up good. Alright, even if Shaman Nicholson is a mobile player, you see what me I say? We still don't need, as when me say, we still don't need two similar players because Shaman Nicholson can play one of them roller, but he don't have to be whisper in the team. But another mobile striker to get what me I say. You understand?
Yeah, but sometimes I think some of those selection is based on what sort of strategy the coach plans to deploy at the different points of the game. So, say for just as an example, that you know Jamaica in the game is down one, heading into the last 15 minutes, and you probably will want to just put some squares into the box. It could be a case where you put two of those strikers in, or you have two of those strikers on, because you're probably with Corey Burke and even Shamar Nicholson will win a lot of balls in the air. I think of all of the three strikers, the best one at holding up the ball to me is Trevante. I don't think even Boza can hold up the ball better than him. I think that is his strength. He may not be a star.
No, Shaman.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Trevor and the Stewart can hold up the ball
Right. So
good.
he's different from the other
But
two because Corey Burke is
as
just a runner.
as as a as a young you coming up now in football, you must go work on him craft more
Yeah,
because
but
me that
here's the
say
thing though, Balakar.
no, 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 when me that say me would have say Shaman Nichols can hold up it better than him because me watch him play striker day in day out and when him back turn when him a play for him club, they can't remove the ball from his foot either.
All right. So here's what I'm
You
no man.
understand?
Here's what I'm saying though, Balakar. The coach, based on the press conference, what I understand is that there's going to be a lone striker, whether that is in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, it's going to be a lone striker. I believe that we're going to play three up front with Shamar being
Yeah. The three up front we're gonna play. But
with
but, but
what
when me this is
watch me with Shamar being the point person. Like so,
yeah.
I don't see any issues with the selection of the three strikers because if you're going to keep playing, because he also has four wingers, which means that if he needs to have them running, and replace them, he can put on two wingers who can still get the ball into the box. So he can also change the front three and just put in a similar a striker who's going to go in and win the ball in the air, but can also press. Because again, if you watch how the coach coaches and plays, he likes to use kind of that pressing kind of offensive player. Now, the coach also said that he wanted to protect Whisper with all that is going on, and I don't think from the game that I saw that if it were going to be based on that game, that he did enough to warrant a place in a team going to Mexico
But but but,
in a in
but
a
if a sub but if a s- but if a sub be case a Traventus Stewart and Busy Atkins alone warrant a chance to play in the national team. We
no
just select
no
no.
no but who
Demaro Phillips not deserve it. And Richard
oh,
King not
oh,
play
oh,
nothing to deserve it.
okay, okay, all right. So let's talk about those players then. So let's talk about Richard King. Let's talk about the Mario Phillips. All right. Seeing that, let me work with your thing. Who should have who would have you played instead of the Mario Phillips, and who would you have brought into the team instead of Richard King?
Demaro Phillips. Um Speed could have come in over him.
Speed.
You
Who is
understand?
Speed?
Speed.
Speed is a coach
Um
at Cavaliers. Who is Speed?
okay. Devon Speedy Williams me attack man is man. You go on like when
Oh
we say
no no
speed,
no
you know me attack,
no
you know.
no
Yeah.
no! I
But
didn't know Balakar. Seriously, I didn't know when they were referring to Speed that that yeah, I didn't know you were talking about Speedy. Sorry. So you're saying that
yeah.
Speedy could have replaced Speedy could have
Speedy
replaced.
could have replaced
All right, but do
Demario
you know that
Phillips.
Balakar? Do you know that even during the campaign, many people are saying that Speedy Williams should not be a part of the Jamaica team.
A lot of people used to say that, and then after a while, and change him more because of the youth are the only player we was doing in midfield, where all over the field taking in knockies them, taking knock them and move. The only reason why Speedy never they look so complete with him pass because every time when him to get the ball to pass it, Ravel Mariso in a that space when Ravel Mariso should have there up more so when him pass the ball, Ravel Mariso can create some damage. You understand? So me kind of analyze the football some more. But where you did I say, based on the game where we play against Trinidad, which players you feel like would have the opportunity in a this squad? I'm gonna say Chevante Stewart and Busy Atkinson.
No, man,
You
no, man.
understand
What?
me?
No, man, no, man. You no. Here's how the question. You said that if it is based on the Trinidad game, Richard King and the Mario
No,
Phillips.
you say first, and then me say it, and
Me,
then me
me,
call the name. Say
I never called it. No, I never called. You call King name,
no,
man.
you never call no name. Me never see you call no name. You say based upon the pro. Remember say with you I say about whisper, you know. I just say based upon the performance of
Based
the
on
Trinity both on
based.
the game.
Hold on. I said this based on what I saw from Whisper in the Trinidad and Tobago game. I don't think in his position he did enough to get in for the game against Mexico.
And then me reply and say to you say the only players that play in the two games they will deserve a call up otherwise from the English base them. We not gonna talk about the one Lambert PC and them Chevante Stewart and Busy are king too.
So how did King come up? How did King
And
come? How did King come up in the
and king,
conversation and
no,
Demario Phillips?
me did I say, yeah, me say king too. Me say king never did play the way all the play. And
So
man is man,
so follow me.
king is a ball.
So hold on. So let's go Balakar. Let's not go all over the place. So let's go with number one. Busy in the in the Trinidad game. Busy played on the wing. So you're saying that
Yeah.
Busy, who is a winger, should come in for a box to box midfielder because that's
No, that's why I'm say speed.
okay.
If
So
busy,
so
that's why I'm say
so
speed.
Speedy should come in for Demario Phillips. Do you know? Do you know that in terms of kilometers run, duels run in midfield, passes made in midfield, it is Demario Phillips who are the best stats over the two games. I don't know if you know that.
All right.
If
No,
stats,
me
if
not
you
know
go by
that.
stats, if you go by
But
stats,
all right,
yeah,
we go by stats. In my best on that game,
yeah,
right?
over in
Cause
both games.
yeah. And when me they say for a box to back midfielder and a bash me they bash him or not, but probably in kilometer or whatever going up. But perform no, we cannot get so much chance and he make a lot of poor passes in that game, man.
So yes,
Even when he get the
you think Demario Phillips has gotten more chances than Devon Speedy Williams because
no.
you're going back for Speedy to replace him, you know. See, you don't think Speedy has gotten enough chances?
Okay. Yeah, man. No, we let talk football. All right. Speedy get enough chances. All right. Demar Phillips gone. All right.
I'm
We'll go
asking you
past.
because you just said
Yeah. Me feel so. So we no feel so Richard King get enough chance
no.
now.
So let's hold on, man. Let's Balakar. You can't keep just work on one thing. I'm asking you, do you believe Balakar? The internet have
Yeah. Me ask.
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Me just say. So when me did I say still, you can you're right on the part there where you say Speedy Williams get enough chance, but I don't like when Speedy Williams a play for Jamaica. He might have a bad game where then run over him in a midfield management.
Really, you haven't watched
If you
games.
get what me I
You
say.
haven't watched games where Speedy was running over in the midfield. You sure?
As when me say, if them run over him and all the time, then run over him. We have to be biased. We have to be fair. Because a lot of times,
Yeah.
a lot of times with when the World Cup qualifier go on and when the game done, even the same people them overseas they call in and say, boy, Speedy have a good game and him game elevate. You
But
understand?
it's not that
Him have
Demario
good
Phillips.
game.
It's not that Demario Phillips was bad though, Balakar. He wasn't bad.
He was bad man. As a
Really?
midfielder, poor poor decision as a midfielder. Him pass them, might go to the player, but man, he pass them never sit there. But remember, Phillips are my baller, You understand? And just as we say, the other one, them a protect other player. We love for them protect the player them some more. Cause we no like we know say go and then they go throw him in a game and then some go on and it go happen. You understand?
All right. So
And
here's what I'm saying, Balakar. I don't think when you exchange Demario Phillips for Devon Speedy Williams, you're missing a much, except for experience. In fact, here's what I think. I think Demario Phillips is more active in the middle of the park than Speedy. He covers a whole lot more ground than Speedy.
so all right. He cover a lot more ground
So
going
in
forward,
terms,
not going.
remember now, Speedy plays as a CDM, not a box to box in the Jamaica team, and that right throughout the World Cup campaign, as good as you may think he is, the CDM role only looked effective when Speedy had somebody sitting beside him, and that was Anthony Grant. Go and check it. Every other time,
All right. All right, man. You're correct on all of that. So when me they say now, how much defensive midfielder we have in the team right now? Two, right? Lambert
yeah,
and the youth from Huddersfield.
he's not at, he's still at Huddersfield. Barnsley. He was sent out to Barnsley.
Barnsley there now.
Yes, yes.
Burm. All right then. So what so you feel this coach will play two CDM or he go play one and play one box one six and a creative midfielder?
I think, and I'll show you what I think. I think Ravel and DJ will start in midfield, and that is saying to me
Oh,
that only one other person is going to be in the middle of the park with playing close to that person and Ravel playing higher up the park.
okay. I just that media try to find out. So that means that we are gonna have just one CDM will stand up in front the back four. And we have the other midfielder where the back to back midfielder and then we have the creator behind the three striker them.
Yeah. So I think
Oh,
I think you're gonna have people like Bobby Reed coming back to help in midfield as well, because I think I think he's probably going to play on the left side, Leon Bailey on the right side, and Bobby Reed is going to come back and support Amari Bell on the left of the park.
yeah. So ask me go ask because I don't know much. I mean I see much from the centre
So
back
who do
them.
you have?
Otherwise from
Who do you have based on what you see? Who do you have replaced King with?
me the replace King with the youth from 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 Veer. Veer Cummings.
Yeah.
So I name.
Is it,
But
bec- is it
before me
because
go,
is it because of something that you have seen or just what you have heard? Why you do that?
no, me see it.
Where
Something me
where
see with the
where
youth
where you see it?
in the. Don't I JPL me I watch you
All
man.
right.
All right, me
So
come for the show before.
no man. All right. So okay. Uh, so based on what you have seen in the JPL, you would put a player in your national team based on what you see of them in the JPL, having not played for the senior team before. So it's not like a player who used to play and have played. But you would bring the player into a game like this, a crucial game against Mexico, having watched their form in the JPL, over a player who has
So
played with the national team before. So because
but
the other question I'd ask in a Balakar is that what are the bad games that you have seen Richard King have for the national team?
never see Richard King play good for Jamaica yet. When time
Wow.
people start run at him.
No.
But listen,
So hold on.
hold on, no man.
No, you have never seen Richard
Miss,
King play good
no, me
yet for
say
Jamaica.
me
Oh,
never say he never
okay.
play a good game for Jamaica. Me say I've never seen it. I know every Jamaica game me get to watch, cause I remember say most of the time when me a link you for the thing them to get the match. I remember say I know only for a match me watch. You
But
understand?
Balakar, all of the World Cup qualifying games that King played were on TV.
But and what? Remember say he goes there freeze up down here, so me I tell you say, a lot of game them me see man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But me nah say Richard King I know one good defender. Me did want to say something before me call the Cummings youth name.
Yeah.
Me did ever say to you say if you know about any other defender from Ethan Pinnock, um Damian Lowe where they play overseas where could have come in at this team.
In terms of
Me did
players
want to
that
ask you before me call.
you have, like you have Wes Hardin. Wes Hardin can play centre back and right back. So that's an option that we had. Um That's it. But
That means that
I personally believe that King has a lot of work in terms of developing. But when he plays for Jamaica, I rarely see him having bad games. He may have had some average games, and he has had some good games. But I can't look back and say,
Ma,
wow, King had a
ma,
bad game in the games that I have
ma,
watched.
how much who they play on their back against Canada?
I think Mariappa played in that game, on low.
Okay. A Manning's man. Why is the inclusion of Mariappa? Why Mariappa in the team now? Based on his performance in club, or him just use him as what me just say now, a player a senior player that have a lot of cap. Cause me want to know, you know, cause we
All right.
need to go get some
I think
replacement for
Balakar,
the
listen, I think it is important. All right. I think it is important that we never undermine the need for, I think, one, there's a need for connection between the domestic and international players, especially those in England. I think Mariappa, in my opinion, though he may not play, his presence in the dressing room as a leader is very, very critical. In football, what I know is that Jamaica World Cup campaign, in as much as Dean Burton, Paul Hall, and Fitzroy Simpson came in, one of the very important players that was a part of that campaign was when they brought Peter Cargill into the team. You have, hey, Balakar, please tell the rooster to keep quiet for me. All right?
I sure someone I show somebody a country, you know, man.
No, me I hear the rooster in
But
the background.
Manning's
But
man.
right, so
But but
so
but
Peter
but
Cargill,
Manning's man. Just
Peter Cargill was not the most mobile, the fastest. But here's what Peter Cargill did. Peter Cargill brought a level of experience, and at the same time, he was leading and coaching a Christopher Dawes and other players. So you need Mariappa to work with a king.
so
Go ahead.
so if all right, so if we have a player like that and we see where it reach to a situation, we make him a part of the coaching staff then, man. And nobody use him as that. So
No,
but
no,
can't more two
but he's
defender good on in a
Balakar.
man is man and he have to play now.
Yeah, but it's not. Do you believe? Are you suggesting that if Mariappa needed to go on for 15 minutes of a game, he couldn't do a job for Jamaica in 15 minutes?
At this present moment, man is man, Mariapa was a good player back then, but now the two game them I watch and see how when a player run Panimar, when if he pass out the ball, no man is man. Me want to give him 15 minutes right now. In the last World Cup qualify, me da give him 45 or make him play full 90. But now man is man, me don't know if I because he not play one team or not. He just show up on him. You understand?
Okay.
That's why I ask, you know, if there is no more players
Yeah, but Balakar,
overseas.
you also have a responsibility. Big up, Sir Mesam. It's not my background. it's Balakar. It's Balakar background. Like, all right. So what I'm saying, Balakar, you can't come on the program doing a Balakar. You can't come on the program, right? And here's
Yeah.
what happened. You You want a player to be removed, but you don't have a suggestion to replace him.
True. That's a true too. That's a true.
So you have to now
Does it mean
go.
what?
You have to now go and get information and let me get a next caller. You can't come
No,
on the
yeah,
program
me
and
go
say
to
that King.
the
You can't come on the program and say Mariappa shouldn't be. He's too old to be in the team, but you can't find a player to replace him.
some man is man. Alright, even the last um under 20 program, the Chelsea defender, I think a Morgan in name. Why them not do no background check on the youth and find out
But
what
you
is
know,
the issue and then thing there.
but Balakar, you're saying something that you don't know. Didn't the in a database with all the players and he said he got all the names of all the players. How would the coach know
Ah,
Kanaya boy? Hold on. How would the coach call Tyler Robertson? Kanaya? Boyce Clark, Dexter Lembakisa, Delano Splat, and don't know Luke Badley Morgan. Think about that. All of those were in the under 20. You don't think the coach would have that information, but the player is just got injured or just got back from injury.
Okay. And the youth is scoring at the Cameroon game. Masters.
Yeah, but
Which league are you?
he's trying to
Which
find
no?
he's trying to find a club.
So he's not playing no football. So he's trying to find a club.
He's trying to find a club. Yeah.
And
And
we have
the
two
coach said
unattached.
that. The coach said that. The coach said
No,
that.
that's why me say it back. That's why me I say it back to you now, sir.
Yeah.
Him without a club, so him can't call him up.
No.
But two other players is without a club and can.
Balakar, listener, have you ever been somewhere trying to sign? Just listener. So he's trying to find a club. So he's probably somewhere in some trial to be signed by a club. That's okay. You don't have to come now because we have Shamar. Sort out your club situation. That's different from a Ravel Morrison who has some issues at DC United. So are you saying that Ravel Morrison should not be in the team because he's
No. Me not say that.
So why did you
saying that.
why did you bring up the two persons, Ravel Morrison and Adrian Mariappa? Because those are the two you're talking.
Because I too unattached players, so me just say I suggest something, but as what you say, the ball are probably there on the trials and near to sign or probably sign. You understand?
Yeah.
Man is man, me must say me not too old for learn, you know.
No,
I'm
man.
not too young for learn, you know.
Both of us learning, man. But big up yourself. You look at
Yeah, man.
the rooster one curry, you know.
You know, say nah, sir. Too tough, you know, a whole heap of pressure that I have to go get that I have to go get, you know.
All right, Balakar, bless up.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna take a next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. People, that was Balakar. You can also call in and share your thoughts. So, again, there we have a starting 11, right? That few of us work on, but it is open to changes and suggestion. Nothing is set in stone. So you don't need to quarrel. You don't need to agitate yourself. All you need to do is you need to give your thoughts, because sometimes every little thing we get upset over and say why this, why that. No, there's a starting 11 and you can where's a mess up. A balaka rooster that man. So I'm going to show you it, and then we can just go through this together and make sure if you say you have reasons for your selection or reasons for your answer. All right. So there we go. So all right. So this is a proposed starting 11. Maybe we should not have it in those colors, right? Maybe we should have it in the Jamaican colors, don't it? Why have it in red? So let's go and change it. And I think that we should deploy um 4-3-3 at least at the beginning of the game, because I think we have good um yeah. Blessings, MPEC TV. Listen, big up to all the persons who have come onto the stream. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Again, hit the like button if you have not yet liked the video. You have to do that. We want to get it up to 100 likes in short order. We are at 72 right now, so continue to hit the like button. All right. Yeah. So, so let me give you the why I start this team. When the coach, I think one of the best games that the coach has seen of the players that he had was the game against Argentina. And in that Argentina game, Low, Mariappa, Brown, Bell started. Right? So the one change I'd make to the back line is definitely East and Pinnock, and you keep the other players. That's what I would do. I know a lot of people are saying that Dexter should start. But if we just go back, please, to the first game that the coach, just go back to the first game that the coach played with Javian Brown. Two of Jamaica's best players on the day were Amari Bell and Javian Brown. In fact, many people said at the end of the Argentina game, why wasn't he playing like this in the World Cup campaign? Just go back to it and watch his positional play, watch his all of those things. So I think the coach also commended him because the coach said in an interview after that, you can go back to all of these things. That we have the defenders don't defend. He said that, right? They are very good going forward, but they don't defend. But in that game, you notice that Javian Brown, I think, played one of his best games for Jamaica. All right. If you go back to even the World Cup campaign, Javian Brown was playing well in a couple of games, and a couple of times he came out. He came out of the game, I think in one in the National Stadium, and Alvas Paul came in and replaced him, and we conceded 2 goals and ended up losing that game. All right. So it is for this reason, because he locked down that Mexican left-sided player. I think he wore number 10 that day in the stadium. He locked him down for most of that game, even when we were down to 10 players. And he had cramps and he came off. All right. All right. So, yeah. So I'm going to get some of your thoughts and opinion. All right. I see some people saying that they would put Bailey. You'd put Bailey on the left. I'd put Bailey on the right because Bailey likes to cut in and kick off his left foot. That's why I put him there. Is no, all right. One said no way he's starting Lambert. All right. So this is a good one. All right. All right. So, okay. All right. He is not. All right. So let me ask you this. All right. So some people are saying start John Russell because, like I said, we can change it, Okay. But let me ask you this: Have you looked at John Russell's stats? Looked at his performances? Looked at his performances? Looked at the coaches that, like at Huddersfield? Here's my position. Maybe he's a good player. Maybe he's a good player and he should start. But if I go by what I've seen of him in some games, and if I go by what I've read, I am a little bit concerned of putting him in a game against Mexico. I don't know if you have read some of the things. No, so you have these things. I don't know if they sometimes the sources seem very credible. Yeah. All right. This person, Russ. All right. So let me. All right. So let me read this about Russell. Right. These are some of the stuff. So I have a lot of stuff that, and maybe I shouldn't. I'm not going to do it. Right. I'm not going. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to. But I would start Lambert. Some people saying that I'm not going to read it because the scouting report on him is not good in this position. All right. The scouting report is not good. But I am going to start him. All right. But the scout, if you go by the, if we go by the scouting report, you would not start Russell. Maybe there are other things. But so this is what I would do. That's what I would do. So I'm going to go with what most of you are saying. All right. So cause we can make the changes. Some people are saying that right here, instead of Kevon Lambert, they would go J. Russell, right? Then here they say they'd go Dexter. Let me hope I spell that name right. All right, Owen. Here's the thing now, brethren. All right, people, you have your opinion, and I have mine. All right. So that is your starting 11. I would not do that. That's all I'm saying. It's okay, no. You can pick a different set of players. Nothing is wrong. Pick your set of players. Pick your set of players. All right. And again, it was Lambert. I just said all right. So Dr. Hero, I have watched him play, and I've watched him play, and I said that. And if you want to, why is it, people? Why is it that you can pick a player that you want to play, but I am not allowed to? Just understand that you get to pick your team. So you say you want Russell to, you notice I'm not arguing with, I'm not arguing. I am not, listen, anybody you want to start, you can, even you want to all move all, Lee and Bailey, you know, say no one move, it's not a problem. We don't need to argue, you just select who you want to select. Some people say they want to put Lee and Bailey over here, and move him, it's not a problem. I know we are the coach, you know. Welcome to I Am Sure Sport. You're live. Cataract, what a go on? Yeah.
What a good one.
You know the internet. Oh, you call me from your credit I go run up in a puppy.
Okay.
Let me send you the link.
Certainly.
Yeah. All right. So that is how some people, I would not do what y'all saying, but that's what you want to do. Some people say they want to start Ravel. We soon change it. So not a problem. But I pick the team that I think I would work with. You understand me? So yeah, just pick your team. Just pick your team. All right. But always remember this. If you say I should not go by the scouting report for one player, then don't tell me to go by the scouting report for a next player. All right. So that is the team that you say you would all play. All right. In fact, they say that they're putting really, I like that. It is a good lineup. That is not my lineup. And they said they don't want Waite in goal. They want Clark in goal. They want Kanaya Boyce Clark in goal. Not a problem, man. I'll put it. The thing is that let's go Boyce Clark. Yeah, man. We're going to change it. Wow. Big up El Granero. Wow, God, puppy. Bless up yourself, puppy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Cataract.
Man. Oh, God. I see you've given yourself an interesting task.
No. Let me just sorry, Ketara. Rob, I am starting Jamali Wait in goal. That's me. But the people say they want, they want, they want, Kanaya Boys Clark in goal, and they want Lemby Kisa. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just working with them, man. Whatever they say, it don't matter to me. Yeah. Go ahead, Ketara.
So, as you have it there, let me give you my left now. You tell me. Can I boss Clark in goal? Amari Bell left back. Javane Brown right back. Ethan Pinnock alongside Damian Lowe in the center of the park.
Huh?
Ethan Pinnock, Damian Lowe, and
Okay.
Javane Brown, Amari Bells, as they have it, but I'd have Connor Boyce Clark in goal. John Russell, and here's where I think the extra cover is needed. So I believe that Kevin Lambert, the two most defensive midfielders, would have to be there. No. The real question is whether Ravel Morrison or Daniel Johnson gets the nod up front, the apex of that trio, right? That's the real question. But for me, I would put Daniel Johnson there at the cam.
Yeah.
Shamar Nichols up front, and the Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed. So I can't see.
That is the side you'd have them Leon Bailey on the left, Bobby Reed on the right. Are you playing them on the other side?
Well, I always prefer Leon Bailey on the left. I always prefer a left-footed player on the left. But Bobby Reed is better on the right-hand side for me.
Okay. Somebody's asking you why 2 CDM though?
Because we're coming on the heavy artillery. Bombardment, gunfire, murderation, slaughteration. You understand? All the defensive cover that you need, you have to have, in my opinion. All the defensive cover. Yeah. Otherwise, I believe you will get overrun in the middle of the park. Okay. I'm only willing to give one debutant. And I said that to be in goal with Connor Boyce Clark, because I believe. But I see.
But John Ross is a debutant as well.
No, sorry. Let me go again. That's correct. I believe, though, and here's why I'm going to say to you, I believe that the coach is going to select Jamali Wait for that reason. Right? Okay. I believe he's going to select Jamali Wait. But this would be my team, but I expect Jamali Wait to start. Unless Connor Boyce Clark shows a whole lot in the training this week.
Yeah. Knowledge Man says attack is the best form of defense. I disagree. Which is, he disagree with your idea that we need 2 CDMs.
Well, that's why enough man dead in the show. Not dead in the show. You play Euro and get 0. You know, man, you can't go to Mexico, go try it. Say you're going to you're going to have to absorb a lot of pressure and hit them on the counter. That is how I see the game. So I wish I could see some of these comments. Let me see what.
Bless up Ricky Tang. Leon on the left, and a lot of persons are saying that they would go. Why we never see Oyini Blake and Joe Grant in the chat at the same time?
And I know why a man obsessed with man, brother. That a man got take the picture from a screen.
So Jogren and Oini can be the same person because one gives super stickers and super chat, which suggests that they are in North America, and the other don't, which suggests that they are in Jamaica. You get it?
What I mean suggest? You know that I live in Jamaica, so I don't know what you mean suggest. Right? I'm in a diaspora. Me there, me there be. Man, me play on party last night, and something just come to me. Me play a song there. Come here, mix. This song by Jermaine Edwards, "Beautiful Day." Right.
Oh
What a
yeah,
nice,
thank
what a
you for
nice song.
sunshine, thank you for
Yeah,
rain.
the place, bust the place, I get some Christian money pull up.
Really?
Yeah, man, we played a birthday party last night, man. But it mixed nice with Jerusalem. And it mixed very nice with that song.
Okay.
Same beat and speed. So I just got introduced to it. Yeah, man. We got the Jamaicans them that keep making music. But we have to go make music in Azteca. And I believe that we have to absorb a lot of punishment and hit them on the break.
Yeah, but yes, and you're not starting Ravel. And
No,
what is the reason behind not starting Ravel?
well, I thought Ravel was poor in both games against Trinidad. And I think Ravel is too slow. But then I got Kevin Lambert.
Okay.
And then you have John Russell. So all three are slow boats to China, you know. All three are.
One says, um, I don't know if Ravel is fit enough to start in them conditions. I think he is. I think that should be our most gifted midfielder. But if he's not much fit, it is a good idea to start. It's a good idea to start him at altitude. I don't know. So he's asking a question, which is to the point that you're making, Cataract.
Yes.
But Jason is saying which of the two will progress the ball in midfield, Lambert or Russell?
Pardon me? Russell is more of a Russell is not a midfield destroyer, you know. Russell is a box to box midfielder. But Russell is a poor man's Lewis Baker.
You saw the heap of stuff that was said about John Russell, Cataract. Have you seen those stuff? I didn't want to read it because it's not good reading.
It's not good reading. But again, I'm going to give the man, allow him to go into the World Cup, the Nation League qualifier. I'm not going to seek to bring him down or bring down a player. We can have those discussions after the game.
Yeah.
But the people, I remember I said to you, this is going to be a surprise. And I said to you, I hope whoever comes in, they have, for me, to match or exceed the performance of a 33-year-old Anthony Grant in the Azteca. That's what you have to do. But the coach must know what he's looking for, and those who recommended him to the coach must know what they're looking for. And I'm saying to you, point blank, that of Jamaican heritage, CDMs are the position of paucity. We have a bunch of talented teenage CDMs who would not sure how they will turn out, and the ones who are in their 20s are all backpedaling, meaning their careers are going backwards. Some due to injury and others due to inexplicable reasons. Right? So let's see what John Russell brings to the table. But John Russell is not a midfield destroyer.
There you go.
And a matter of fact, I can tell you for certain, there's a player by the name of Lewis O'Brien at Huddersfield, right? Who I think has moved on now. But Lewis O'Brien was the player that made everybody in that midfield look good. When he left, that's when trouble started.
Yeah, because he was covering a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
Remember, I watched Huddersfield a whole lot, because they always take Arsenal player out there on loan. So I used to watch John Russell a whole lot, and I don't know, man.
Well, I don't know.
I'll watch him. I feel like he is a taller, bigger, speedy. Like I feel like they have the same playing style. They don't
No,
break up tackles.
he's a taller, bigger Ravel. They don't break up anything, and he does take that extra second of composure to pass the ball. His passing is good, but they overall, I would say to you, is not a. Which is why I was surprised when the coach set out his definition of the player that he's looking for, like workhorse, high work rate and stuff. I was surprised, but again, the coach must know, and those recommending to the coach must know what it is that they're recommending. So I'm not going to question on the eve of a game. I'm going to allow the player to come to Jamaica, take part in the training camps, and oh, you're there, foreigner.
I think what is working for him is probably his age because he's 22, so he has, he has room for development.
But I
That
don't
is
miss
if
Jamaica.
that is if by the Gold Cup we don't, because I think if, and this is the problem we have, is it, and maybe I need to ask everybody, including you, Ketara, is it now a bad thing that we call a Jonathan Russell for a game like this? By the Gold Cup, we get two CDMs who have Premier League experience who are better than him, and he never gets called back again. And people say we just dash him away.
Yeah, but that happened to
Should we have
Jordan Cousins.
should we have waited, or do you continue like same thing with Cousin? You call
Cousins.
them, they play Cousins, they play a game, they maybe not up to par because you get a next better player and they're gone. You don't Curtis Tilt, you don't see them again. Is that
Yeah, but
good for the team to be doing that?
But that's the ruthlessness of international football. I don't know pet and pamper thing. I don't know pram push thing. I wouldn't say that. I think Jordan Cousins is who is a player that I don't rate. Um, I think he has been dealt a raw blow because to just look at the Catalonia game, which was a debacle, and judge a player off of that, that means that we shouldn't see Latibedir again. You know, we shouldn't have seen Omari Hutchinson again. It was a nightmare game, and he didn't have any bigger nightmare than anybody else. So, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. I do believe, though, that I've always said this: a CDM is a position that age and maturity is like goalkeeping; they're not quite the same effect. You mature with age as good wine in terms of a CDM, generally around the place. So you have some younger CDMs who are exceptions to the rule, like Declan Rice. But Declan Rice will only get better as he gets older, and that's the scary thing about him, right? But your N'Golo Kantes, your Jordan Hendersons, England still calling Jordan Henderson, right? James Milner still have a career. Um, I saw a video from Klopp that said he's a pensioner. A little meme video that say, we have a pensioner. But at the end of the day, they're so hard to find a good CDM that it's it you find that when you have one, you treat them with respect and you take care of them. That is what I see. But let us see. I'm not going to say anything about him before he has hit a ball in anger for Jamaica, right? But
What about Casey
but
Palmer? Is Casey Palmer a long-term replacement for like Ravel going into
Casey Palmer,
2026?
Casey Palmer is a good pass of the football. I don't know that he's like John Russell for me. He's a luxury player, right? Meaning that somebody else has to take up the slack. Mesut Ozil, that's the name I've been trying to remember. He's a Mesut Ozil kind of luxury. Like, yeah, I like them, but can I afford that? Because I have to have somebody in there that mops up around it. So let's see who does the mopping up. Let's see if it's Daniel Johnson, or Kevin Lambert. But Kevin Lambert isn't that quick. So the coach knows best. I'm sorry you weren't in Jamaica because I try for us to try to go a Montego Bay take a training. When I think I know so the Express come at the same time. I would go look for the training, but It's nice to go look on the side. You know what I mean? But I think this is my 11. But I look forward to see what the coach's 11 is.
All right.
You know.
We have Demo. Let me see how much Demo differ from you. Demo, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Big up everybody in the comment section and Manningsman and Ketra. Big up yourself.
Yep.
You know, say this man always want to see, Manningsman. 11 boss, boss. Want to see some 11s, So, all right. So here's my thing real quick. First of all, you have to pull up everything with Cataract right this is in, because I'm not using that formation. I'm going 4-4-2 flat, Sean Dyche style. Zine, fully Sean Dyche.
4-4-2 flat. That is more defensive. That's with the diamond.
No man, flat, Sean Dyche style, boss.
All right, we can move them into position. Not a
Yeah,
problem.
man. Burnley, Sean Dyche. All right. Going to the Azteca. All right. So, yeah. All right. So, my keeper, you have to
Yeah.
take him out because I'm going to use weight. Straight away. You can't just run through my side. So, at the Azteca, Mexico, you have to relax yourself a little bit.
I don't
Yeah?
hear anybody mentioning Amal Knight though, who kept in the Nation League even against Mexico at the
No,
office.
no, man. Amal Knight just did it to make up the numbers today. Sorry.
Okay.
So, wait. At right back, Lembikisa my right back. Sorry, Javian. But Lembikisa is the man for me at the Azteca. Playing against Premier League opposition. I mean, one of the best teams in the world, Liverpool. I mean, rings him in one of the game then, but that's supposed to be expected. So he's used to this kind of pressure. Him can play there. Lembikisa is my right back going forward. We're going to keep low on Pinnock, so you don't have to change that. I mean, they speak for themselves. And Bell, yeah. So the rest of them speak for themselves. Here is where now a lot of pulling up are go on. So first of all, you have to put Bobby Reed over to the other side with Johnson there. Put Johnson in midfield. Take out Lambert. And right which part you have Lambert, Lee and Bailey go there. So you can take out Lambert. And change Lambert name to the man where people are going to cuss about. Corey Burke. We need that energy up there with Bowser for when time we're going to put a little pressure upon them. Can release it down the channels to run down and chase the ball when we're under some pressure and the long ball kick out. Corey Burke has to be there for intensity purposes, and obviously we need Shamar Nichols. As much as he miss a lot of goals and stuff, I mean, he's the man who scores goals for us mostly. So, yeah. But on a 4-4-1-1, 4-4-2.
That is still 4-4. Oh, you're playing them beside it? Okay. Maybe that is Demo's 11.
Yeah, so you can't just run through that side there. Shamar, I got there, him kind of lazy-ish, but me need Corey Burke to come back and help the midfield and then as an outlet, for down the channels when we play the ball forward. And may have some creativity in the midfield with Leon, with Daniel Johnson.
Yeah. Oh, Cataract, what do you think about Demo's team? Because it look like him have guessed. So.
Oh, wait, you never hear me all this time. No, me that talk, man. I was saying, so I have Corey Burke there for run down the channels and help come back in a midfield if necessary and put in some pressure. I have some creativity there with DJ in midfield. Leon Bailey cutting off the right hand side with him left foot. Bobby Reed on the other side, so inverted kind of wingers going forward and back. Obviously, Bobby Reed plays wing back and right back, so him used to the back and forward thing. And Unai Emery actually make Leon Bailey do some tracking back as well. So for me, you can't run through that team too easy, and there's goals in that team.
So I think so far they are like in most teams there are only two names that seem to be changing out Lambert and Lembikisa. Every other player, everybody has, and probably the goalkeeper, those three. All right. So Demo, somebody saying that you're not trying to win the game.
Oh, I'm not trying to lose the game either. So I'm
Cataract, what
listen,
say you, Cataract?
foolish and dice, boss. You see me, and then in the end we can nick something. You never know. You have the quality to come off the bench of a Ravel Morrison because I wouldn't convince me, Because in the comment section, me that's a Ravel and any 10. But when really convince me, say him never really played that well in both games. I'm not look really fully fit. But to come on for the last 15 minutes and spray some passes, yeah, me that take that. Jamal Lowe to come off the bench as well.
Some people are saying that Bobby Reed don't look good on the left.
Yeah, but me rather see Leon Bailey on the right. I mean, I don't know. I like inverted wingers. I like you cut in on your stronger side. But
Right,
I can understand that.
let me get Cataract feedback for this 11. But you know that the draw don't benefit the team though, Demo.
No, I know, but I'm saying me not try losing at the first 20 minutes, boss. There's always substitutions and trying to win the game in the latter part. But me not try losing at the first 20 minutes.
All right, Cataract, what say you?
Boy.
So like Demo stress out
This
Cataract.
is called a demo madness. Demo. You are gonna get the you would get the you would get the reverse 7. You would get the reverse 7, brother.
All right, so Chad, just give me your 11, man. Just type up your 11.
Type it in, man.
And I will put it on the screen for you. Anybody wants to put up their 11, let us do that. Go ahead, Cataract.
No, but Cataract need to tell me what mad about it, We can't just talk for talk's sake. Tell me what mad.
Yeah, I'm not tell you what mad, man. I'll tell you, man. You have no CDM.
So Russell Hour.
Russell is a calm, a box to box, a
box
passer,
to
deep
box,
line playmaker. He's a deep line playmaker. So look at Russ a 6 foot something tall enough. He's not getting down in a no ground duel. Right? Let's go look for the tape then. Now get down in a no ground duels.
So that alone mad? Man, him still there?
Cataract. Yeah, man.
I'm here. You not hearing me?
Yeah, I'm saying if that's the only thing we're mad.
No, that's at the start. Madness. Corey Burke has not scored for Jamaica in recent time, apart from a 1 goal in the World Cup. Right? He hasn't scored all World Cup qualifier. So I don't know how you have a striker who hasn't scored and you're expecting the goals necessary.
Oh, yeah, but I explained why. I said he's there as an outlet. When we are coming under a lot of pressure, we need a form of release. He loves to chase the balls on the channel. Him would there for add pressure when we look for press at times. And him will get the odd goal. But Ashamar mostly the goal threat with Leon and them and Bobby Reed.
Okay, all right. I see Chad put in his 11, but he has he's using 4-2-3-3, but he has only 10 players. I figure that he has Bell at left back. So Dima, we're gonna put up his 11 and then we'll compare it to yours.
Save me 11, Because only thing different to the man different from me at the formation and him having.
No man, a whole thing because him have Ravel in his team.
Yeah, that means Ravel and the formation.
And he also have Brown over Lembikisa.
Yeah, but him have the right back change too. Okay.
Yeah, and he has Bell at left back. And
yeah, I have Bell at left back too.
3-1. So he's using Burke as a loan. Yeah.
So man, I hope you're saving everybody's own.
Yeah, man, save me 11 Mannings, man.
Right. And But I would be surprised if the coach uses a 4-4-2, having not found any joy with it in 3 games. I would be surprised if he does. But let's see, eh?
So let's go with Chaddy Chad's team. He has Brown over here. Right? He has he has Bowser up front, right? So he has Javian Brown. That's the 4 he has. The 2 in midfield, Brown, Low, Pinnock, Bell, DJ, Russell, Ravel. So he has DJ and Russell, then Ravel, Leon, and Bobby and Bowser. All right, so let's do that. Bobby. So he has DJ, Russell and DJ in this position. Then he has Reed, Bailey, which is the same starting 11 that I have. We have the same starting 11, and up front he has Shamar as a lone striker. All right, so that's all right. So that is his starting 11. So little bit different from yours, but most persons really let me see, because I see Peso. What do you think about that one? J. Ross has the same Wait, Bell, Pinnock, Low, Brown, Russell, Ravel, DJ. Yes, same team. Oh, he has Jamal Low in his team, 4-2-3-1. So he has Jamal Low. That means who is out? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. So Daniel Johnson. Oh, so Jairus not starting Daniel Johnson. He's starting Jamal Low instead. And I think he's putting Ravel beside Russell. That what do you think about that one, Ketara? To put Russell and Ravel and start Jamal Low.
Boy,
That might be
Mannings,
the defending in midfield.
Mannings, I don't know. But I think we have to go a month ago. You can find out what time I trade. I think we have to go a mobile and take him on trading because I'm probably going to try to go tomorrow and take in a training because I don't know that stuff. I don't feel comfortable naming the squad and not seeing the players out there, but I think Daniel Johnson's a starter for Jamaica. Every day, all day.
Daniel Johnson. Yeah, I think Daniel Johnson in this game he has to start. I think he does a lot of work in midfield. So I think he has to start. I don't know. I just feel like he has to start. TikTok says he's going 4-5-1. Knight, Brown, Low, Pinnock, Taxi, Bailey, Johnson, Ravel, Bell, Reed, and Nicholson. But the truth is, Cataract, you know that most people, all right, here are some of the things. Most people have Bell, Pinnock, Low, Bailey, Reed, and Shamar. All right? Those 6 names are certainly going to start. Don't it? So we can go by that, The 6 names are Amari Bell, Ethan Pinnock, Damian Lowe, Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed, Shamar Nicholson. All right. So far, more people have Javian Brown at right back than Dexter. That's 7. More people have Daniel Johnson in midfield. And more people have Russell as CDM. I think the issue is Ravel. But I think given what Ravel has done in the Nations League, I would start Ravel. I feel like Ravel has to start. I would just put DJ The difference in my team and your team, Keter, I'd put DJ beside Russell and put Ravel right on the top.
Well,
But like
this
you
is
said,
something that we don't. I don't have Ravel in my team, so it stands to see. But coaches and people seem to like Ravel, so I wouldn't be surprised if Ravel starts.
Owen says, Cataract, your track record of analyzing Reggae Boys training isn't the best. Example, Jamaica versus Panama in Kingston. I don't know what that is about. But what?
Yeah, when there were only 8 players they were training. Yeah.
I don't know what that was about. Demo, what were you saying?
So I think people kind of realistic when they look on this thing, man. Like, we think we're going to Mexico go score 4 and 5 goal, boss. Like, we want to just put in all of the attacking players, no work rate, no effort, luxury players all over the place. Because Cataract just tell we say Russell is a luxury player. We know Ravel is a luxury player. Leon Bailey in a Jamaican shirt is like Sonogo from Arsenal. Like, man, I understand. We want people who are go put in the effort. So I understand looking at the pretty names and saying,
I think sometimes, Demo, you're right. I think sometimes when we look at the football, is that we look at it and we don't match up with the Mexico team. We just look and say, well, let's fix up the Jamaica team. Almost like
like we're play by ourselves.
Once we start these players, we are going to beat Mexico. We have to remember that Mexico went to the World Cup in a tough zone, and though even when they weren't at their best, they were very hard to beat in the World Cup. People
Yeah. So may I say people across my team and I say Ray. But me set up defensively strong first, and we can look for counter and try get something off the break. Hence Corey Burke in the team for that outlet if necessary. We put in Lembikisa because he has had Premier League experience in play for Wolves, in play against Liverpool. Him used to them kind of something here. Like, me not just pick random names, Me not just pick the pretty names because they're pretty. You get what I say? So it's not Jamaica versus Jamaica. Jamaica versus the next team who is really good. So me no know.
All right, Cataract. Tennessee says I don't think training will tell you anything, because remember before the TNT game, Cataract said he was training and we were going to beat. Hey, all right with Tennessee, man.
Look here. I said to you, I stand by. How many times am I say it, Manins? I stand by my prediction, and I was disappointed, and I will live with it. It's my team, so if a man make a mockery out of me because my team flap me, I just have to live with it. Just like we didn't expect Leeds to get promoted the next year after relegation, and it took us 16 years. I would put time and laugh after me, but now going to make me no thing extra positive about my side. I know what I saw. Management, you saw the same thing. What happened is that we did not get the same return on the team based on what we saw in the training.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But we saw a good team in training that would have annihilated Trinidad. Nobody can tell me that. Yeah. I don't know what happened to the man them when they started to play the coach, so they panic and they start with the long ball. There was no long balls in training. I didn't see that.
Yeah, you know what? This is a couple of good comments. Cygnus Media says, remember Ravel played club ball in Mexico and then professional pro club FIFA 20 says, Demo, your team not defensively strong because Bailey's history don't support great flank defense.
You know, so I rate the manage, man. Oh, yeah, bring up the comments them where beat me. Oh, you know, bring up the youth who say Corey Burke is sharp right now and this, that. Oh, you know.
No. I'm going to bring. Why would we start Russell when we are not sure what he offers in a crucial match like this?
Because you don't bring in a player in a crucial match like this to have him keep the bench from flying up. You don't do that.
I would say the same about Lembikisa.
No, but what they're saying is that Lembikisa, the coach, have seen him play twice against Trinidad.
All right.
But again, this is not where we want to be, But I understand how the coach got here because of some of the internal politics in Jamaica. But the way, what we have always said is we didn't want us to come to competitive games and players making their debut in competitive games. We didn't think that was the best way to go. But I understand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand that. I really hope it works out for him. I really do.
Yeah, but I mean, Chris Simmons, nobody, I think only one person, I think only TikTok so far have Taxi in his starting 11. Or
So,
what, Duckland, I only saw one team with Taxi in it so far. Oh, and Duckland has Taxi in his team as well.
and, and, and,
But
and,
I
and
would start Bell, given Bell's form. I've been watching Bell, and listen, Bell is one of the standout players at his club at Luton Town.
he's a standout player in the championship.
Yep.
He plays 90 minutes for his team. He has gone on from being simply a left back. He's starting to play left midfield now,
And he
right?
played left centre back as well.
So very versatile, and that's just the fact. Taxi is a good experience backup to have. You have Limbekisi, who started his career as a left back, who can play over there. It depends on how the game ebbs and flows and what the needs be. But I'm not gonna be a Monday morning quarterback and be telling the coach this. This is just the fun and games of it. But Mannings, what I wanted to crave your indulgence now. I know you reached the 1 hour and 30-minute mark, but I wonder if you could indulge us to spend a 15 minutes and we could give the players them some name. Cause man, they really come to Jamaica and we say, oh, Jonathan Russell with the ball, and he passes it out to Devon Williams. No, as somebody to speed it. So the man might forget Christian and baptized, brother. And being a pastor, I think I would love you to preside over the baptism.
So how that Cataract? But how that important? Because the players may already have names that they call them in. What we need to do is to find out that.
No, but the name when you get to England, no matter, brother.
No, man. I'm talking right now in training. They already probably call people names.
Yeah, but we the fans give the names, We the fans give the name. So I would like you to preside over the baptism ceremony for some players.
What do you make of Cataract's proposal?
Because a man can't go put on a national shirt and I use him first name and last name. It not gonna work, brother. It don't work.
I not see the relevance, but you can carry on.
I mean, it's irrelevant. But Debo, you don't see get a bleach,
No,
So you
because
don't see the
man is man
relevance.
right. Them probably get them name in a training.
You're coming like the Manchester United fan and you eat prawn cocktail and cucumber sandwich during match,
Yeah, but everybody have a name. What I'm saying, Cataract. Chiga have a name.
No,
You
man,
have,
I'm not talking about the man them in at the side, man. I talk about the man them come in at the team, we forward in our team now, the debutants.
so who? John Russell?
John
John
Russell, I
Russell
get
is
no
not a
name. Lembekeys, not a
Everybody
name.
have name
Boys
long time
Clark,
from.
not a name.
What you mean Boys Clark have name from under 20?
What name Boys Clark have?
I don't even remember, but all of them got names, man.
Ethan Pinnock still there, Rupert.
Everybody have name.
No, John Russell not have the name. Lembekeys not a name. Boys Clark not have the name. I go again, I say that.
Yo,
We know Bobby Reed and Dexter Daps. And I know the players them give him that name, and we the fans give him the name Dexter Daps. And the traded ground name that man is, man. Yeah, I make people a name you pick it.
anyway,
Yeah.
but go ahead because we can talk about that because what I want to because
Yeah, man.
yeah no what if we what happens if we don't beat Mexico, Cataract?
Then we're out.
Okay, all right.
Based on, but we will know that, based on the result of Thursday's game in Suriname.
Yeah, right. But there are other Nations League game going on as well, you know. That I think sometimes we forget that there are other make us to play first. Somebody say make him play first, then they give him name. Bobby Reed favors Red Rat still. Dexter needs
No, Bobby Reed Red Rat. Bobby Reed's name is Dexter Daps.
Brooklyn send him Dexter Flops.
Lord of mercy.
And they said that Amari Bell named Nico because Amari, Nico, you must shut my life from business.
I don't. I've never heard anybody call him Nico. We hear about that stadium calling labor rights. Call him Bell. Hear about call him ring ding ding ding. So here people. Let me say the people ever get baptized. Me hear a man say, "Oh, what ring ding I go." What's up to the body, man?
Yeah, but
Um,
I wasn't able to. I wasn't able. I don't know if anyone. I wasn't able to watch the JPL game, but I heard that the whole long ball thing. You see, Boyce Clark is just replacing the squad. Did I get that by Kemar Foster?
okay, we're gonna have to have some serious discussions, Mannings, at another occasion about the breakdowns in administration.
Okay, so Boyce Clark, yeah. Kemar Foster comes in for Boyce Clark. Kind of,
So
but
me hear you say yes, yes, yes. You know the badness to Mannings. Well, we'd like to hear from the persons, like if they would let real journalists, media personalities, into the press conferences rather than Alex, right? So boss them.
what else say?
Then
What else say? What else say?
no,
From
no. Why is Boyce Clark not present? Was the correct um release request made for him in time?
we have Coach Minzy on the
Yo,
line.
everybody, move out, I studio, move out. Rapido. All go on, man.
Oh God, Papi.
Big up on yourself.
With
Where
them.
I'm
By,
there,
by the end up like the man that will take on beryllium, and they have a license fire wall there that plays the answer back. Mind it up. Uh, but yeah,
you
move up,
know,
people.
and then foolishness that you come with my
But are you come and shoot on the players? You, me and Dre, we have a quiet conversation.
No,
And all of a sudden,
we passed that. You want to come talk about man name and stream, brother. That don't make no sense.
what do you mean? Like
That's
that?
come on. Your level higher than that, brother. Right? You can't want to use part of the team. You make sure you ask the time, man. What time on the team you have your part in 1 hour, man. So you segment the team to do that cataract. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
But listen to me.
Minzy, you need to tell us something
Yeah,
now because you know
No,
that
but we were speaking about the exclusion of Boyce Clark, the non-appearance of Boyce Clark. That's where we were at, actually.
hold on.
Yeah, man. That's something I go now, man.
So let me say this now,
JFF,
Coach Minzy. Me have to tell you.
JFF.
Hold on, Minzy, let me tell you this because Maestro Sam to tell you he had training last night. So that is why when he get the link, he couldn't come on the stream. So I need to make sure me tell you that. Come don't call when we finish. Me sure
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, man. In good, man. In good.
Yeah.
That's at least, man.
All right.
But you see, JFF, listen to me. So my man still need to leave because
All right.
what I am hearing, Kessler, and Manning, and Demo, big up yourself, Demo,
Yeah, man, big up.
that the Manning still have issues, Kessler, and Manning. Or you have to invite coach this to a camp, and you not tell coaches this agent, you not tell coaches this club. Them something I need to stop. Man, them something they're doing.
Well, let's be specific. How do you invite a player? How do you invite a player? Send him a plane ticket, and you don't send a release for your club. That's the question you want to ask.
And that me I talk about Cataract. You see the man them. After we have big up the man them last night, I said it's good to see one because a long time the team not assemble, I'm probably 1 or 2 man missing. But then send a your man, brother, and the man no get the club no get no release letter. Them something they can't work, man. We think JFF should have passed them something, man.
All right,
And,
you know
God,
that Coach
man.
Minzy. You know that Coach Minzy. I'm trying not to get into my because some things are. Yeah, once you say it, people can add things together and figure out who you're talking. But so I spoke to two agents of players who are presently in the team, and their clubs did not receive any information, any release until 3 days before the players traveled. And the release date should have been sent
Hold on.
from the 6th of March. They never got it until the 16th of March.
What?
The players. So what the clubs did, the clubs was like the club actually started preparing because the agent took it upon himself to speak to the club to say, listen, I know my players are going to be called. So just you understand because there's a good relationship with the clubs, because different clubs the players coming from, trying to be as discreet as possible. So I don't understand how it took so long when we know that we had the Nations League game. How it took so long for like the clubs to be contacted, and the agent, though the players were told that they were going to be called up. I don't know. I don't know.
Going nice. Me can't hear your manings, man.
Oh,
no, man. My coaches, they say, come out and talk shop, my coaches, they come out and talk
Tell
shop.
him to mute it.
So if you come out and talk shop,
Yes, say the last one again, manings, man. Say the last one
now
again.
the pick them tigger.
Say the last one again, manings, man.
all right. So the players, right? The players knew that they were going to be called. The agent was the one who basically said to the club, "Yeah, man, they're going to be a part of the squad. So when you're planning for your weekend, you have to plan without them the game to be put off because of international duty." That was even though they had not received any information. Remember, these are players based outside of Jamaica. Let's put it that way. All right. But ticket arrangements were being made. Ticketing arrangements, travel arrangements were being made, but the clubs were not being contacted.
Manins, you're
So
a man of
And that is
Manins, you're a man of God.
That
Manins,
is slackness, man. Pull up them socks.
Manins, you're a man of God. I know the Lord looks down on high. Manins, just let us be fair, right? And I know you're trying to protect the identities of your sources, right? This is something that happens that was occurring since the on the 20, not on the 20, sorry, the Trinidad thing, where the opposite happened, where a player was asked to be released from his club and nothing said to the player. So the player, a release was sent to the club and the player don't know nothing about it. So when the club turned down the release, the player would have accepted and said, well, if I knew, I would have said to the club, I would like to go, even though it's outside of a FIFA window.
Yeah,
so, right? So the opposite happened. But this that happened now. Sorry, go ahead, Manis. You're the host.
That is what compounded the issue. You see, somebody with a small mentality think, okay, but if I said that and the player said that, everything good then. Let's leave it alone. In the professional world, things don't work like that. So somehow, like, we have to be careful. Somehow, right? Because that initial dialogue took place, somebody assumed that nothing else needed to be done when the international window came. In other words, so because the player said X, Y, and Z, you didn't know do the right thing. But here's the truth, Cataract. If you wanted the player, because remember, when did we play Trinidad? The 12th, right?
Yes.
The 11th and the 14th.
Right.
So that invitation, the release for the players, was still sent a couple days before. My point is, if those things should have been sent from the 6th of March, the team manager is responsible for that. The team manager is the one who communicates with the team of the players. So I keep asking people, who is the team manager for the Jamaican national senior
The
team?
views of
Who is
Cataract
the
are
team manager?
not necessarily the views of man. It's not the views of management. It's not the views of coaches. This Rice Sims, if you take care of yourself, brother. You are mess up your thing. Back, Brad.
In
This for
coach,
the back yesterday.
in coach Minzy, you understand what I'm saying? This is a team manager's job, coach.
Rice Simpson
Yeah,
is
man,
the
me
person
agree with you. I
responsible.
agree with you.
So the team manager needs to come out to the people and explain. You tell me, when was the last time you heard any statement from the team manager? I remember a few months ago I asked, who is the general manager and who is the team manager? Because what I know, you cannot be a GM and a manager at the same time. You have to be one. Because if you are supposed to manage the managers, you cannot be one of the managers who manage yourself.
But man. Like you just give me a headache. See, before them have to come out and talk to the people. Like who explained this to the coach? Because I'm sure the coach they expect this to happen. Yes or no?
No, remember I said to you, remember what I said to you no. Remember I said to the people, the squad, you know what? These are the reason why the squad was not named on the Friday.
Yo, this is a drop.
Remember I came out and said the squad was
I
going to be named.
remember. I remember.
Yes. Because the truth is, the coach wanted to do press conference and everything.
Yes. Because this is the same man who came out and say like we're too laid back with stuff and when he want things to happen, it not happen. This can't real man is
Hold on,
man.
hold on.
The man soon
Man is
gone left
man.
in.
Man is
The
man.
man soon gone left for me not ask.
Man is man.
Yeah.
Let me go
Me,
one step.
agree
Let
with
me go.
that. I agree with
Let,
that.
let me go one step further. Please, coach's desk. Is this is the same person that should have written to the Jamaican High Commission in London and put 5 players' name on a letter so that them could get their citizenship and passport expedited. And now it no do.
But listen,
Hold on, sorry, man, all now it no do. So when they not see Latiba there, and when they do see Johnson Clark, well, I think no, not Johnson Clark, Latiba there for certain. And I think there's another player, a left back, right? The correspondence from the JFF to request, as a matter of national importance, the expedition of the citizenship and passport. I think Keto Taylor Hart was a part of that too. That number. It was not done.
yeah, but you know what to do. You know what we need to do, Katara. Let me tell you what needs to happen, in my opinion. All right. I think these things, you see, like if that letter was sent out, these things should be publicized from the initial point when there's a lapse in the system. So it could be, it could be, it could be like after the fact. It seemed like so far away. All right, we have coaches just calling us. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We don't call a call, but they have to take a call.
Yeah.
But man, this thing is serious now.
Yeah.
Because the thing cannot be operating like that. You have the cover of the page well wrapped and look nice and professional. When you start to turn the pages of the book and you're going at each chapter, you're having issues. Page tear up, you see page missing, a whole heap of nuances that take place, which as Demo said, I agree with him. If these things continue, the coach probably have to pack him back and go.
Yeah. So let me ask
I
you this.
wonder if that some man want.
Hold on, let
I
me ask.
wonder if some man move under Sykes as a sea creature. And I try to frustrate the coach.
My thing is this, sometimes I wonder if there are other factors at play. In other words, if I want to see X and I don't expedite player B, then player X gets to be C. All right? That's one.
That's so, yeah.
There is that possibility that I am so close to this player that how I can get to see him. All right, if I don't really emphasize or pressure getting this particular situation worked out so this player can come, there would be no other choice but to call this other player. All right, but here is a bigger issue. So the player has a ticket. Who pays for that?
Such it need to come out as such man pay.
Yeah.
The general manager needs to be surcharged. The general manager should be surcharged because it's not the first time that monies have been wasted on plane tickets. You recall that we ended up having to book a flight for players who could not get to Guatemala for the under 17 due to another administrative bungling, not by the same, but by the management team, right? Who is supervised by someone. So is money going to waste? It's like you give ice to Eskimos. So them just.
I think we have to.
No, man.
Okay,
So we have to ask these questions, Mannings. So we have to ask what were the punitive measures against whom for the under 17 visa debacle, and what now is going to be the punitive measures for the monies wasted to purchase a ticket for Conner Boyce Clark, who is.
But not only that, but Coach Minty, let me ask you this, because you're in a school system where there's a principal, and I know very few principals teach in the actual school. Some do, but very few of them know. With the increased responsibility of being a principal, very few principals actually teach a class. They may sit in when if a teacher is absent or something. All right? Right? That's how it works. I don't, because yeah. Some of them can teach because they were teachers, but once they become principals, they give the class.
The role.
Exactly. All right. So watch this now. The general manager. Remember, the general manager, manage the U15 boys, U15 girls, U17. He manages the managers of the U15 boys, U15 girls, U17 boys, U17 girls, U20 boys, U20 girls, senior men, senior women. That's 8 people you're supposed to manage. You cannot have time doing that and manage the senior team, because the senior team in and of itself on the male side is
a big job.
I would say it's 50% of your program.
Mannings, man.
The supervision work we have to do, supervise all those other programs, and then the bulk of the work stops at the senior team. You know, got no time.
Yeah, go ahead,
No, Mannings, man. Just for the people who might just come in the stream, you can just explain to them what happened. Just explain to everybody who just because me still a try to wrap my mind. And by the way, how you find out about this? Did the JFF come out and make a statement? How we know about this? No, but may I say, did the JFF come out with a statement?
No.
Okay, so you see, for me, as inexcusable as this thing is, yes, if them did come out and put out something, maybe it would have lessened the blow slightly. But the fact that we know about this thing here, and it'll go around now and make the YouTube waves and it'll go make social we. It'll make them look even worse than a boss. So you just explain, man's man, to the people them who just come what's happening.
No, but Demo, it is out there already, man.
No, because me see somebody asking in the chat what really happened. So
Yeah, that one person, man, them can rewind the stream.
Yeah.
And catch
this was like I said from the games against Trinidad. This was lingering around. It was lingering around. Right? It was lingering around. So from the Trinidad game, there were question marks as to why Connor Boyce Clark was not here. Because he wanted to. There were those questions. But because it was, okay, well, he's going to be here from Mexico. But I know what happened. You see, because the right process was not done for the friendly game, but something
Jessica,
it was just left.
Tell this on his way for the car. Just give him the key, yeah?
Hey, Cataract,
you know what the thing
Cataract, I want to hear Cataract, man.
I talk about Jessica.
Oh, the Cataract one.
Any man's wife named Jessica. I remember a man pretending to be Joe Grant, you know.
Hey, Cataract, man. Hey, Cataract. You understand? You understand me, Demo?
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Yeah, so what happened is that from the time, and I'm saying that, you know, if the general secretary don't come out and say, listen, this has happened for too long, and here is what. One, we're going to either remove the person who caused this. Two, all right, either remove him out of the organization, remove him to a next department. And three, we're going to bring someone on with specific responsibility over the senior men's team.
Manins?
It's not going to change.
Manins.
No one person can do all of that.
Manins.
In a place that is trying to get proper systems in place. You see, if you had the right systems already in place, it would be easy. You cannot be in an environment like this when everything is not systematic and have one person multitasking this way. These are the things that are going to happen. And it has to stop right now. One thing you don't want to do is to frustrate the coach. Because I can tell you this, if for any reason this coach should be demotivated or leave, then listen, the JFF will not be able
to pay.
To pay? You talk about pay? To recover or rebound from the kind of outcry and the setback to the entire program.
Yeah, man.
I am telling you.
Man.
So man is man. Man is man.
Just, the support that is thrown at the side of the coach and for the inadequacies or ineptness to cause him, the coach, to leave, then you now hear the last side again. Serious.
Yep.
The bad man.
So man is man and CD. There's something that's been bothering me, right? The JFF is the only organization I know that doesn't follow the correct HR, human resource management procedures when hiring. So, Manins, I would want to take out that word that says bring on somebody. I'm demanding that the Jamaica Football Federation advertises nationally for the position of general manager, national senior men's manager, so that competent people may apply for the position. Proper recruitment is followed as in shortlisting. Hold on a minute. So, sorry, go ahead.
You're talking about the process of doing it. When I say bring on,
No. So I'm just making sure. I'm just piggybacking on what you said.
We don't expect them to just take up somebody who can do the job. That is what I'm saying that needs to change. So if we say about bring on somebody, brother, then what's that we mean?
You know,
But they will
Right.
hear it and say that the fans said the YouTubers said let's just bring on a man and we wake up tomorrow morning and hear say John Brown or Alex Reed is a Balaker is the senior men team manager and we are say what qualifications he or she has, what experience of management does he or she have, and I am calling for a transparent public recruitment process that allows suitably qualified and experienced Jamaicans to apply for the position of first team manager of the Reggae Boys. I'm asking
But
Mr.
Chatara,
Chung,
that's a very good Chatara.
one second, coach. I'm asking Mr. Chung if at the next opportunity he can come and reveal to us the job description of the first team football manager and the job description of the general manager, that we can be clear that there are two different jobs in the JFF and not one man doing two jobs, right? So that we know what the key performance indicators, known in the world of management as KPIs, what are the key performance indicators of the job of the general manager and the job of the first team manager, that the public will be able to assess their performance based on what it is they are expected to do and how they are measured. That are my input into it as a professional selector.
That is very brilliant, Catara. That is very brilliant, and that is the modus operandi of selecting persons through the human resource, right? However, because of how this federation is set up, there's not going to be a body that is going to be scrutinized or a body to hold them accountable for all the mistakes. Because you can say you have the qualification, Cataract, and you apply. But when you apply, because they want to give their friend also apply, but you not going to know so the friend no have that qualification.
Yep.
And the friend is going to still get the job. So that is very, very beautiful that you put together, because that is what happens in the world of work.
in the world, and
These
Cataract,
people are not following it, so they're not going to do it now.
and Cataract know that he knows that in politics, in the contracts, in the whole contracting in Jamaica, he knows that as well. That even though you will do the work, you are more highly qualified depending on certain um, political affiliation. Though it is publicly advertised, depending on who you're connected to, you're going to get it, regardless of how good the other person is.
Management, and when that happens, the country pays dearly and suffers. That's why.
Isn't that's what we're saying, Cataract? That is why
Hold
we're
on.
paying dearly in the football right now.
Yes, and that's why I'm asking that we don't repeat the same mistakes. That's why you have a supervisor for works, right? That just at the the water commission that just fix a road and the whole road collapse.
I don't think you're getting my point, and
No,
Coach
no,
Miller's
hold
point.
on, I'm saying to you that, so are you saying that because that's how it go, we should just, so we must make it go again?
No, no, you see,
No,
that's
no, Catara, but you need an overall revamp of the system for all these measures to be put in place. You can't have it for one sector to application for the general manager and don't have it for the other positions that are out there.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Remember, we are talking about policies from a long time, that policies need to be changed for us to see huge change in the Jamaica Football Federation. And until that occurs, then we will not see what we want to see. The entity will not operate like a Sagicor, like a this, like a that. They will not, until these measures are implemented.
let me say it this way, Keter. You see, right now, you see, if here's where to that work. You see, if when the first that 600,000, I think, dollars to Guatemala, if when that happened, one person was fired, and next man was, because there's procedures, your warning, suspension,
firing. If, when these things happen, people lose their job and it is publicized, I can tell you this. Because remember, what we want first is, if you have for those of you who are single, if you have a toxic girl, you don't need to consider who is going to be your next girlfriend. You need to get rid of the toxic one. The first thing you have to do is get rid of the toxic one. It's rather to be single than be in a toxic situation. So the first thing is, where you see failure, you remove the people for their continued failure. Because if you're not having them, is not going to make it worse because it's already failing. That is my position.
So, Manins, what I'm
right now, if you have a man a build your house, he might build a roof, and every time he fix it, it a leak. You fire him and make the go on, because whether him working or not, it's still a go leak.
No,
So
but Manins, sorry, but I have to, at a point about to interject. We know you know the Bible well, but I know so industrial relations goes, you will end up in a fat lawsuit. So there's something called a disciplinary procedure, which the JFF needs to again present to the public that we know it's disciplinary procedure. So when something like that happens, you're supposed to convene a disciplinary committee, bring the person, the employee or employees who are accused of being responsible for the misstep before a disciplinary committee. You're supposed to write to them, giving them 14 days, indicating to them that they have the right to bring their lawyer or union or HR representative to the meeting. And then based on that meeting, you give an outcome. Now, it's very unlikely that in any labor code or disciplinary code, the first offense, the penalty is firing. That's generally not what happens. You are given some disciplinary procedure, punitive measure, suspension, your pay gets docked or something like that. And then if you mess up again, you could face the risk of being dismissed.
But
right? Otherwise, people end up down a Ministry of Labor. The question is,
let me just say that in a cataract. First, you get the warning, you get suspension, then you're gone.
But I'm saying to you how the warning is given. I'm just letting the public know that you just can't write a man a warning. That's not a warning. You have to have due.
We don't have no time for getting at the technicalities.
All right, okay, we don't have time. All right.
But you are getting at the technicalities, cataract. We're not getting at the.
But that is what happened with Coach Whitmore, and that's why we ended up having to pay a very large sum to the gentleman.
And I will say this. And let me say this, cataract. There are times when you have to pay the large sum. Sometimes you know what the cost is going to be, but you have to make that decision. It's a part of it. Because if you don't, in other words, okay, I'm not going to keep the person while the ship is sinking. Sometimes you have to say, listen, it's going to cost us 10 million, but at least we can recover. Because at the rate that we're going, if it continues like this, for 2 more years, we're not going to the World Cup. And the implications of that will be greater than paying the person 10 million right now. In my opinion, sometimes you have to, not all the times, but sometimes you have to do that. Do I agree with you in terms of the intricacies of the process that must be followed? There are times when you have to make that hard decision. And here is why. This is not the first year we are experiencing these things, or the second year. Ever since we have been following the football, these are the things we have been going through. TikTok. Well, let me just read. Management. Not every business you can fire people, even if you are. All right. Let me break. Did you hear me say you can remove them out of the organization, or you can remove them to a next department? You can demote people too,
No, man, no, not in Jamaica. You can't do that, sir.
Cataract.
Sir, you cannot do that.
Cataract. You're telling me that if you have a teller, so a teller who is one on the cataract. Me ask you, because me don't know what to tell me, like I don't know human. You're telling me that A
You
bank.
don't have no HR in your church.
Cataract. What you people are telling me makes no sense because you're trying to tell me if a bank sees a person take $10 million out of a bank, them can't fire them.
No, no, you can't. What will happen is that you
Oh man,
call the. Just
cataract.
listen up, man. Just listen up, man. You ask a question, make we educate the public now. It's not a war thing. I am saying to you that if somebody stole 10 million, you'd have to report it to the police. The person would be taken in for questioning. They were taken in for questioning. I hear the feedback. I'll be hearing the feedback. And then they'll be absent from work for 3 days or 5 days. And then you would dismiss them on the basis that they have not shown up for duty. That's how it goes. That's a code. I'm saying to you about demotion, that is not possible in Jamaica. You can reassign somebody somewhere, right? You can reassign them to another desk, but you still have to pay.
Demotion take place.
Cataract.
Brother.
Demotion take place.
I work it.
Yeah. But where must still enough? Demotion take place. But what some people do, they don't trouble your salary. What you have been getting for the same position that you have.
There you go.
It is a matter of demotion because you're not going to have that same duty for the same job. You're going to be put in at a different desk. So it's a demotion you get because you're not at that desk anymore.
Hold on. So coach, you are. All right. Let me pause.
You are disagreeing with me. Let me tell you, because I sit on board, that financial board where these things, I sit on board. So don't tell me that. A person was caught stealing and they were relieved of their duty with immediate effect without pay. Because part of the agreement that you sign, there are things in it that says you can be fired for these reasons with immediate effect.
Man's man. And I said to you, is stealing. I'm asking a question. Is stealing.
Let me finish.
We have to talk over each other. Let me ask you a question. Is stealing a criminal activity?
Cataract, let me finish now. Let me finish. Right?
It would be a part of your contractual agreement, So
which is
whatever
what
is in
I
your
want to
contractual
explain to him now. This is what I want him to listen to before, and then I'll give him time to talk, right? So, when people are being given contracts, let's go into the federation. In those contracts must be reasonable things that they sign to. That if those things are not met, or they go outside of that they can be dismissed from their duties. You can put that in the contract that people signed. And that's all I'm saying. And then I will leave you to respond, Cataract. And then Brian wants to come on, but go ahead, Cataract.
Okay, so I'll respond to you. I want us to reason because these are important things to see, man.
Yeah.
Because it affects many people who have businesses and many people to understand that Jamaica doesn't work the same way like the United States, etc. Our labor laws are mainly what you call come out of slavery, right? So they're mainly there to protect the workers and not the employer, right? That's number one. Number two is you are correct in the respect of the matter of criminal activity, which stealing is a criminal activity, and therefore it is the criminal code that comes into play, and the person is dismissed under that, not under an internal disciplinary hearing, because you can't be tried twice for the same offense, and you can't conduct a disciplinary hearing while there is a criminal matter being vindicated in the court or investigations are happening. Right? Hold on, man. You said you would allow me to. You said you'd allow me to speak, so please allow me to finish and then respond. You can insert things into a contract. However, contracts can be ruled null and void if those things that you insert into the contract run contrary to the labor laws of Jamaica. So you can write a contract, anything you want to put in a contract, but it must comply with the labor laws of Jamaica. So for example, I have dealt with a case with a lady whose the contract says she must work 7 days a week, 24 hours, right? And when we went to the Ministry of Labor, they said that contract is null and void. It's struck out because that is illegal. So what the JFF has to put in the contract that can lead to a dismissal must be within the labor code. Because the last thing I'm going to say to you is that you may recommend a dismissal for somebody, but that person can challenge right up to the Ministry of Labor, the Industrial Disputes Tribunal, the Supreme Court. And they can say, so you can say, okay, if the release requests for players do not go 14 days in advance to every club as requested by the national coach, you will be fired immediately. But then if you try to fire me, I can appeal that and say, did you give me Wi-Fi? Was the Wi-Fi working there? Because things are going to say that you have to put in place the things that are necessary for me to complete this job as you have asked. That's all I would add to it. So we're not talking at cross purposes, but I'm saying that if you attempt to do those things, you might find yourself in a very expensive venture to get rid of an employee.
All right. We have someone who works in that department, Brian Mighton, who is going to share, and I'm going to add to it because I have some information before me right now.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, afternoon mornings, afternoon cataract persons listening and stuff. I think Coach Minzy is there.
Coach Minzy, he looks like he's having some problem connecting.
Yeah, but cataract, Manins is correct with the point he was making about the financial institution. There are things that you can do that doesn't warrant you to go to any disciplinary committee. You can be fired immediately.
And are those things criminal things? That's what I was saying to him.
You don't have to be criminally charged.
No.
Yeah, they
criminal?
can. Yeah, yes and no in a sense. So if it is that you so the example that you were saying that if a person is reported to the police and them don't come work for 3 or 5 days, then them fire them. They're not firing you because you don't come to work. They're firing you because of the act that you did, which then resulted in you not coming to work. So it's not because you abandoned the job why you will be fired. And also, there are things there that are not criminal, but they go against what you call like the code and conduct of the organization.
Exactly.
And you sign. So they are saying if you do these things, then you can be fired. So, for example, like a simple example would be you act in a way which causes the institution to get a bad reputation or to lose income or to cause a customer to be, what do you call it now? Gravely I'm not remembering the word now, but like you call not dissatisfied, no man. So like you do something will cause a customer to lose money or to cause the institution to lose money that would give them a bad reputation and stuff, then they can terminate the services for that. And that would be criminal.
So
but
Brian,
the point that money's made though about them dismissing you, yeah, they actually put those things in your employment contract.
Exactly.
So Brian Mighton, I want to ask you something. I'll be clear. If you are arrested for on suspicion, that's what it's called, on suspicion of stealing.
Hold on, man.
Brethren, just cool, man.
But Cataract, we don't want to go too far because you're going on suspicion of things. Nobody
No,
use that.
hold on, man. Hold on, Mannings. You cut me. You could have finished saying what me I saying. I might think could answer me.
You know that. You
So
know
how
that.
do you know the person has stolen the money?
Hold on.
How do you know the person has stolen the money?
Hold on.
Because you
Cataract.
Cataract.
hold on, man. Let me ask a question now.
Cataract, but
Yeah, but me go Cataract, me go answer you before you ask. You never bother ask.
No, don't do that. Come, I wouldn't do that to you.
Cataract and Brian, hold on. Cataract. All right. You spoke, and then I had Brian. I have not responded yet, and then you're going to just hold on now. Because watch this now. We don't want to get away from the main point. Because people are asking, what is the discussion about? Why are we here? So let me bring it back to you. All right. The point, so and then we're going to Cataract talk. What are we discussing? We're discussing that for too long, the Federation has not acted in firing the fireable people. The people who have failed at performing their duties, they have not been fired. When they have failed, they have cost the organization money, they have cost the nation points in qualifying for tournament, which is a part of their mandate. And one side of the argument is that they can't just be fired like that, or they can't be demoted. So we're using examples, right? We're using examples to show that there are organizations like the JFF that are private sector, according to them, where people are in position and when specific things happen, they are fired with immediate effect. So just bear with Cataract and let him respond. All right? That is what I wanted to do, Cataract. I don't want the people to like, but I don't want us to go all over the place. Yeah, go ahead.
Respect. And I respect your intervention. And the reason why we're having this discussion is because we are saying that an incident took place where a request for release of a player should have happened, and it did not. The money was spent to purchase tickets for the player, and basically it's wasted because we have had to get a replacement. So I just want to say quickly, Maddox, and to Brian, when you say somebody stole money, that person has a right to due process, which is they have to sit in front of a tribunal, either a court of law or an internal disciplinary body, right? How do you prove that the person has stolen? You can't get up and think, what would be happen is that in the civil service, it is a public body, you'd be interdicted and maybe half pay until the matter is ventilated. In the financial institution, you may be sent home or relieved of duties. No, relieved of duties, like you would hear it in the police, relieved of frontline duties. It effect malice, it would be a demotion because you're not doing the job you're doing. But that's not what it's called, meaning you have been placed in a lower position and being paid lower money. You can't change the amount of money that you pay the person, but you can reassign them to a different job where either one, it frustrates them. So in the civil service, we know people that get sent around to go up a Hope Zoo or to report over Westmoreland Parish Library, where there's the Ministry of Education. You said you go over Westmoreland Parish Library. And you can't keep going there, and so you frustrate them out. But Brian, I'm asking you, if a person is accused of stealing $10 million from a bank, right? Can they be fired immediately before they are charged? Because when you're arrested, you're not charged. And before they are charged, can they be dismissed, right? And what will be the consequences if you fire that person and a court of law rules that the person is not guilty?
Cataract, you're gone for a completely different thing still. So hold on, let me just take it.
Yes, I'm gone for it. So if you fire the general manager for not sending the release, and it turns out
hold on, caller. We have a caller. Cataract. All right.
Okay. It turns out that it's not the general manager who did not send the release,
Cataract.
but maybe it was the general secretary.
Cataract. But to be fair to Coach Minzy and I know, here is what we'd said, Cataract. Because you're really gone, like I said, on a gone far. So let's move on. Judith Williamson is asking for the summary. So let's get to that. We spoke about the $600,000 where a team manager was relieved of their duty, according to the reports. That's a Guatemala trip. This issue with flight is not the first time we are doing this. We said all of those things, that there has been a track record of missed flight. We can go back, even the team having the wrong COVID tests when some players had to go back to England. We can go back. So all of these things are general manager issue because of the multiple tasks. It was in that context that we were having the discussion. So we believe if there's nothing within the systems of the JFF to govern and hold the person responsible for all of these things, then the organization itself is an incompetent organization. If these kind of failures are not grounds for the person to be relieved of their duty or to be replaced in other and deployed in other departments, the organization itself is doomed for complete failure. Because the point is, these are some of the worst levels of failures. And that is the point we're making. And you are trying to justify why they cannot be fired. All we are saying is that the truth is they can be fired. And even if you're going to pay $10 million, because Theodore Whitmore, what's the coach before Theodore Whitmore? Oh my God. Schaefer, they paid Schaefer the money. It cost the organization money to pay Schaefer. It cost them money. They were paying Jerome Waite while he was not in his job. They were paying Tapper while he was not in his job. They were paying Schaefer while he was not in his job. Why can't they do the same thing with the other people who are failing in the organization? Carla, why?
All right, man. May I ask you come question? It a go sound off topic, but in the end you go get me, I say, right? Right. I've been listening to you and I hold you in high regards, right? But when Jamaica played on a catching holiday, what was the color of the field?
Does the color of the field?
Yeah, the way them play for.
Green.
And some part of it brown, right?
Some part of it was
because
you could see the sun because it was fully grass.
All right. You say if I'm gonna argue with you, say the grass brown or green, you can argue with it, right?
Yeah.
But if Cataracta said grass blue, just leave Cataracta alone and continue with the show.
Bluegrass is a music thing, you know. Careful, Lord.
No, but what Cataracta says, like saying the grass is blue up a vineyard, and if the grass blue up a vineyard, just make continue the show and go back to the football, man.
No, man, Cataracta make some good fight. All right, Carla, what we hear? Yeah, all right then, cool, Carla. Yeah,
money. I just withdraw everything because I want to keep us on track. What I said was I outlined a process that asks for people to have a job description and that for us to know whether there's a disciplinary code in the JFF that can be followed that doesn't put the organization at a risk of being sued and forced to pay money by the Industrial Disputes Tribunal. I am not suggesting that incompetent people keep their role and function. An organization can very well reassign someone, even though they're paying them the same salary, and have a competent person there. And last but not least, I said to you, Marins, and everyone else, that these positions, especially the manager now, that we say is vacant, ought to be advertised publicly so that competent Jamaicans can put in their application and there be a transparent hiring process. Are you in disagreement with that, Manins and Brian Martin?
Hold on, we have a call. Hold on, the coach, we have a call.
Brian Martin.
No, Cataract. Cataract. Hold on, Coach Minzy, answer that. Hold on, Coach Minzy, we have a call online. Caller.
I mean, Cataract.
Hold on, hold on, caller.
We're not going to hear some noise in the background because it's pouring rain. All right. The problem is that what Cataract said, nothing is wrong with that. But you have organizations that tend to hire from within or handpick some
individuals. And it seems to be like that's how the JFF operates. So it's kind of difficult for us to hold them accountable for putting out a position when that's not how they operate. That's all I could say on that one.
All right then. I'll soon come to you, Brian. Let me hear Steph. We have Stefan online. Stefan, go ahead. What say you on this matter?
Yeah, man, Mannings, bless up. Just something real quick though. You guys are totally correct. I mean, I understand what Kataka say. I mean, I understand we must say to some extent, but him spend too much time in the public sector, right? Bridging, when you have major mishaps, whether it is misappropriation of funds or gross negligence, right? You can be relieved of your duty or dismissed immediately, right? Pending other investigations. Right, we see it all over. We see it where boards are dissolved, right, and an oversight committee probably comes in and to kind of stabilize things. But we see it all over, right? However, if the employee feels that they were wrongfully dismissed, they can always challenge it.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, they can always challenge it, right? I remember, that companies, private entities have, well, all companies have their own policies which govern how employees should operate. Now, if it is that you are in breach of any one of those policies, you can always be dismissed. And then if it is a criminal matter, the company can choose to press charges. However, they don't have to press charges. If they decide not to, they can always dismiss you, right? Pending other investigations. But if they have enough evidence to suggest that you were either negligent in your duties, you can always be dismissed. I mean, we see it all the while. So I'm not really sure where Captain, I understand what I say, but him spend too much time in the public sector, man.
Yeah. All right. I know.
But
All right. Respect, Stefan. Blessed Father. I appreciate the clarity. Respect every time. All right, Brian, Cataract was seeking your response.
Yeah, man. Yes, I'm not gonna believe what the point no longer, but let me just say this. Cataract, I put it to you that if you work at a financial institution and you are being accused of theft, you will no longer work at that institution and may find it very difficult to obtain employment in other financial institutions.
So, Brian, that was not the question I asked at all. I asked whether you agree that, one, the JFF should have a disciplinary code that is known, that governs the behavior and the execution of duties of its employees, and the process by which they can be terminated or relieved of their duties. One, I asked whether you agreed that.
Yeah, but Cataract, that must be a trick question, because any well-thinking organization or any well-thinking person could disagree to that, boss.
No, but I don't know if they have it, and I'm saying to you, the other
no,
question.
But whether them have it or not is irrelevant, because you asked me if I agree that they should. Me can't agree that they shouldn't. So yeah, I agree with that they should. Whether them have it now is a different discussion.
Yeah, but I answered that, Cataract. I said that any organization that don't have within its policies things that govern the hiring and firing of people in their contracts and their systems and their policies is doomed for failure. I said that.
That was said a long time ago when you were explaining the point.
Yes, but Mannings, how would you explain the fact that we have had several firings within the JFF that have all led to there being substantial payouts to the individuals?
All right, so let me explain that to you, right? Let me explain that to you, because there are two things they can do. Because remember, when a bank fires an employee, depending on the years that the person worked, they also pay them some money. Sometimes they don't get all the money, but sometimes they still get money, though they have been fired. They may have vacation leave and all of those things and blah blah blah. The bank still pays some of them some money. They may have money that they probably what they call after 15 years of working there. So sometimes there is still a payment. What is also true is that sometimes you have to bite the bullet. And all I'm saying is that when Schaefer was in the eyes of the federation, failing as a coach. They fired him and they paid up the money. It was a costly venture. Jerome Waite had some issues. They fired him, but he was paid up. All right, over time. Theodore Whitmore, he was paid up over time. We all agree that this should not be happening. But my point is, if you do that with the coaches, what about the other persons within the organization? I suspect that the highest paid people in the JFF are probably the senior coaches, and they have fired two of them and paid them up. Why is it so difficult to fire what I call the lower pay scale workers when they fail?
Mannings,
You muted Coach Minzy.
Nobody know, man.
Mannings, that can't answer up on that stream, my brother. That can't answer up on the stream, boss.
Hey, please, silent. Mama drop.
Mannings, that can't answer up on the stream, boss. The truth can't talk on the stream, brother.
Cataract gone.
Cataract on the runway.
That is the question. Right?
So Mannings, hold on, because I kind of did jump off of the stream earlier, you know. But so what? So it is a situation now where somebody failed to do something that is causing problems.
The goalkeeper, Kanaya Bice Clark, it's an miss. It's a poor communication.
Oh, so he's not coming?
No, he has been replaced by Kemar Foster in the team.
Oh, so there was some mishap that caused him some delay thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And you are saying that is a fault of the federation, it would seem?
And it's pointing at the general manager or the team manager. I don't even know.
Well, they are one and the same, aren't they?
That's
the manager of the senior team, general manager.
Yeah?
The manager of the senior team is the general manager.
Yeah, because when he's referred to in the newspaper, they said the general manager. Remember, I told the people that.
So you can't.
Huh?
You wouldn't fire yourself.
That is it, because the general manager normally fires or recommend that the team manager be fired. So this is the issue. I'm glad that people picking sense out of nonsense now. If you are doing dual function, you're not going to recommend for the team manager to be fired because you are functioning as the team manager as well. This is crazy stuff, I'm telling you. But I don't know, man. I don't know. You can't fire yourself indeed. But this somebody
maybe that's one of the questions you can ask Mr. Chung when they get him back on the show. Or we have a team manager be the general manager. Because as far as me know, the manager is supposed to report to the general manager. So the general manager can't be team manager. So hold on there. So
he reports to himself.
No, that can't. I guess he report to the gen sec. But what me I say is but that would even work because the general manager would be someone higher than the general secretary. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know what the hierarchy thing goes. But I guess the general manager, I'm assuming, should be
general CEO, you know.
Okay, all right. So what me I say is so that means that the team manager is a report to the general manager. So
Hold on the TikTok at the last comment. You can't tell nobody that. What we see the documents? We have documents to prove that TikTok. So you don't know, shut up and don't talk, man. You don't know nothing, man. But the JFF don't have a. Stop your nonsense. You know nothing. Y'all as make people are going like they want disrespect you. You chat too much, man. You don't know nothing, man. Go from here, man. You know, see, you know, see, we present the documents and the article on the show before. And the man come out and say he's a general manager. We don't have a team manager. You chat too much nonsense, you don't know, man. And unsubscribe if you want with your nonsense because we know you're famous for that. You always come out and chat things you don't know like you're in or something. The man come out and say that and you come and chat. Every day you run up and down chat, be a nonsense. You talk like you're all things JFF and you know everything. You don't know crap. We in the business. We get the information. We have the papers. The people them come out and say it. Sometimes if you move up and keep silent, man, or you put on a gloves over your fingers and so you can't type, man. Type in a bag of crap every time. You have no proof. Roy Simpson is the general manager TikTok. Go and read all. Type in who is the JFF. Who is? Go and type it in. Right, leader. Don't read it. So I'm going to, you want me to call Mr. Speed and ask him? You want me to call him and ask them? Quiet down yourself and ask questions, man. You chat too much sometimes for a man who act like him is a big person. You always chummer. Sorry, Miss Judith Williamson, man. But this brother, man, I'm telling you, him always come and him challenge everybody on YouTube like him know everything about the inside scoop on the GFF. And we talk to the people and have the information in front of us. You think we come on YouTube? You think we come on YouTube because we want to come? Roy Simpson is the team manager and the general manager, Tiki or Tiki Taki. Roy Simpson, that is the issue we're discussing. You understand me? That is the problem. The problem is the man who is the team manager is functioning as the general manager TikTok. Relax now. All right, somebody just type in the JFF general manager and tell me if you don't see Roy Simpson name come up. Whenever Coach Minzy, you have a show later?
I do no football show later.
You take a break. You should do a show and call. You should do a show and call Dennis Chungman. And find out from him and let him talk so TikTok can listen. And pick up yourself, TikTok, but sometimes you get me cross, hungry, miserable.
If we reach home in
you see the matter time. Anyways, we're gonna leave him. We can't manage. Yo, the man can't manage. Yo, people, don't end the show. We can't manage. Can't manage. We can't manage. It is in his link. He is the general manager, man. Yeah, but somebody can call it. But reach him really quick. I think it would be good to find out from him. Like talk to him and ask him if you can do a show. May have training later, but me try and get in still. I think that would be. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Brian, your team have a big win yesterday, man.
We only go one match, man. How can a big win you talk about? We only go one match, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We are going to your place Sunday. You know?
Yeah?
Yes, Sunday we play Mount Pleasant.
We have to reach Jamaica, man. By the hook or the crook, we have to do the Sunday.
Follow with that, all right.
What do you mean?
Follow with that, all right.
I will be.
Which
People,
one
I
of
will
us
be.
Jackstar.
People,
Jackson,
people, I will be back.
We have a data match.
But Mannings will not play VR tomorrow though. They will play VR tomorrow now. We call it the link up.
Oh.
But now like Mannings, I was at the Waterhouse game. We're gonna lose.
Uno?
Sorry. Well, Mount Pleasant lose. Yeah, I was at the game at Mount Pleasant last.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Mannings, even before now, I used to have a lot of respect for Mr. Gould. But I'm telling you, yo, the team, they weren't playing very well, to be honest. And I mean, you know where the Waterhouse stands, where the VIP area is, upstairs, the changing room. So to the right, you had Mount Pleasant people, and to the left, you had Waterhouse people. So at halftime, well, second half started and was going on. I think Bygrave missed a goal. So there were some people there, you know. It seemed like they are diehard Mount Pleasant fans. But they were giving it to Mr. Gould, you know. and he was there engaging them in a real heated conversation. Like they might have a real heated conversation. And I'm telling you, I was like, I have a different level of respect for him because, I mean, of course, we all know about him in terms of him finances and whatever and stuff. But the way I see him engage the people in terms of like just reason with them and my tell them Mannings. Even if based on how they were talking to him, if it was me, me gone, brother. Like me cut and knees are fully born Jamaican and stuff. And him there and him talk to them for a long time, like about half an hour.
Yeah.
I mean,
I say still, man.
one
of the coolest managers.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was really refreshing, to say the least.
Yeah, the deal with the bad sometimes.
Coach, them deal him away, brother. Yo. Hey, all of them, I tell him, who if you run, my brother. Who if you go for. But I mean, the game, the game, I think one of the issues of the game was the officiating. I'm going to give you a scenario. So over to that same side, can you know the referee them? One assistant referee responds to one half, one responds to the other. So I think there was a FIFA assistant referee over on the bench. So you know that the one who's on the side of the benches, them call him the first assistant. So she was responsible for the half to her right. If you know Waterhouse, you are facing where the stands is. So the half to the right, she's responsible for it. So Fletcher was fouled by a player directly in front of the linesman. So he was fouled by a player. I think it was Campbell that fouled him because he and Campbell were at it. So I think Campbell fouled him and the referee was there, so he was coming to give Campbell a yellow card. But you know, it was Campbell was on the ground, so them not normally carry when they're on the ground. So even after Campbell fouled him, Fletcher kicked him, you know, like him turned step on him. And the referee came and they gave a yellow card to Campbell for the foul. Mannings, the assistant referee over on the far side, who is managing the opposite half, called the referee over to indicate to him that Fletcher kicked the player. That was like about 5 minutes. So everything took like about 3 to 5 minutes between Fletcher getting up, getting treated, whatever. And a free kick was given. You know that the referee came back over and ejected Fletcher?
Why?
As him kick the man. But what I'm saying, you know, is if the linesman, the second assistant referee was there, it happened directly in front of him. The referee was there in the same half, and for some reason, neither of them saw that Fletcher kicked the player, which he kicked the player for real still, you know. And it was the assistant referee on the opposite side, you know, who called him to the half line, you know, to tell him that, hey, he kicked the person. So he came over and gave Fletcher a red card. Of course, you know, the place wasn't the same. After that, the Waterhouse people were livid. But I think Waterhouse did a really good job. I was really impressed with Blake. I was watching him. I think I don't know how much longer his height can be used as an excuse to say he can't be a centre back, because Mannings, I'm telling you, he was really able to get in front of Stuart them and win the ball, or him stay behind them and stop them from. He was just very, very good. And when him on the ball, as we all know, him very comfortable, him can pass out the ball and stuff. But he looked really good as a centre back. I don't know if him take a step up to the next level, he will be able to look the same way. But him look good as a really, really good centre back. In a game against, I think Mopes that were playing two centre forward. They were playing Bygrave and Trivante Stewart. And him won. I mean, I think he might come up against no more bustling centre back like those who big and can bounce him around and stuff. Him won.
Yeah, that is this. Yeah, you say
Him
that you
won,
think
man.
him can manage international level.
I don't know if he will. I don't know if he can.
Okay. What you
Yeah,
think,
I don't
coach?
know,
because
I don't know if he
sometimes,
can because remember, say international
sometimes
football, when you go up to that level, then
different.
it's not just about being able to contain strong people too. I mean, them
Mm.
other fouls, they have other things too.
So you have to be able to go against the guile of the player. Because them are coming tricks and all of it. Now have to be tricks on your foot. It have to be tricks in movement and all of these things. Half the ball movement can take you out of position and stuff like that. So when you go into the international, these things might happen. And if he is not aware of these things, it might look small as his frame is when he goes into the international setting.
So, coach, let me ask you this now. Because I think the Earman is asked a question there before, But um, you think a shift in position may help his fortunes? Like to play like right back or centre or CDM or something?
I hear people making mention of him doing CDM duties, but again, everybody are going to use his height to deter his quality, and that might be true, but I would have to see him because not many players can adapt to a position easily in a brand. You have players that are versatile, that is able to play right across the back four, and even can step it up a notch into the center of the park. But sometimes when they don't understand the nuances of a midfielder, it will be difficult for you to even drop in as a central, a AM, or even a winger. If you don't, if all your life you have been playing at that position, sometimes it's difficult to make a change. One in question, Damian Lowe, played as a CDM position, and we the fans say him look good, but he was all over the field in my estimation. And he even said that he was out of position because of his combativeness as a defender. It was brought over into that position, but him still a move out of position. And sometimes when these players have learned a position and still learning the position, it's difficult to introduce them to a new position. And I'm not saying that to say it won't happen, because you have people, kinetic intelligence is very good where they can easily adapt. So it might very well can happen. But he is playing well. But then again, to see him transition from the domestic to the international, that would probably be something very interesting for us to see. If him can really hold him on, as I said, in that sort of setting.
But you know, one of the things to do, coach. I'm wondering if he make a move go overseas, what would they do with him in terms of where would they play him? Because I think I've seen players left Jamaica. Because I think even Lovell Palmer was like a central midfielder. And when he went to the MLS, I mean, coaches came and thought he was a better right back, and they
Mm-hmm.
played him as a right back, and eventually became a right back for Jamaica team.
Yeah, that is true.
So I'm
But
wondering if maybe if him go overseas and we try convert him.
how does Blake deal with long balls and crosses? Them things that have to take into consideration. So it's not only the ground duels we have to look at in terms of how they match up and the
Yep.
physicality against the forward. You have to look at crosses, you have to look at long ball, you have to look at positioning. So sometimes we just look at one aspect of the football and say, yo, I'm very great against the players, the big forward. But that is only one aspect, which is a ground duel. How will he do in aerial duel, which is comprised of the long balls coming against him? How will he do against crosses, which are very essential for a player in that position of importance, the centre back. You understand? So, does he intercept a lot of passes? If he does, then you could probably look at him as a right back as well as a CDM. But all of them things they have to take into consideration. Me not just look for one thing to determine if the player is all that.
Well, the coach there here, so maybe we invited to some of them training camp there, and then them probably can look at him.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. That would be good for him. Because I'm going well. You can't deny the fact. So I'm going well.
Yeah, so hopefully he can get in one of the training camp then.
Yeah, I mean, I think he will get a chance, in time. I think he will get a chance in time still.
But man, I'm really disappointed that Connor won't be here though. I think it's very unfortunate to the young man.
Hold on a sec. Let me see if we can sort out something. Just go ahead, Brian.
Carla, come through the thing, Yeah, Brian, I did hear Connor, he should have been. It's just that the people
Yeah, I really wanted to see him though. I really wanted to see him. Be invited. But who knows? Let's see. What's in store. Hopefully there will be a next window and him can the thing can. So, but I'm wondering why would there be an issue with him in terms of organizing him to come? Because we bring other players from England. It's not the first we bring in players from England. From Ready, we bring players from Ready already, brother.
Mannings make a point, I think it's a salient point. The point that Mannings make, sometimes these persons want their persons in the team, so then try to frustrate other players so them can't get them out. Because you can't invite me to somewhere and you don't tell my club about it. You have set me up for just make a step in a problem.
No, but your question, how would he be released to come if the club never knows him? Because when the invitation, when a player has been invited, isn't it the club?
Have you seen him, Brian?
Seen him where?
In Jamaica.
No, man. Hold on a moment. No, hold on a man. What me I say is,
Brian, let me just say this, right? I just called. I was trying to get them, but they are in a meeting. People don't let TikTok tell you anything, right? For those of you who know, so they're going to call back and just trying to get them to just come and tell him that Roy Simpson is the general manager because the team still make statement. I don't know how me convince this man. So people don't let him tell you anything. Roy Simpson is the general manager. There is no team man. In fact, let me tell you this for those of you who don't know. The guy named Ramon Thomas.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Remember, though he has been relieved of his duty, he doesn't stop working. I think he goes up until the 31st, like the day of his final time with the JPL is the 31st. So up until the Mexico game, they are asking him to help out. That is from my sources. As the team manager. Because Roy Simpson is the general manager. Alright? Argument done. Anyways. At 3 hours me gone. Coach Minzy, you see the discussion, you have to go have it later. Even if I early come in a track and field night and champs are come up. And me see all Cataract. We are going to run, because at 3 hours I have some sessions and things I'm going to line up for.
Yeah, man, deal with that thing, man. Angle your business.
No, man, money is respect. Oh,
Cataract.
Respect.
Cataract comes so much when
Respect.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, people, listen.
But for me, I see a bag of things go on. Me jump off. Me say,
Yo, bless up yourself.
Be a 3-star ratchet drawing these things, but
bless up
emotions run high. Bless up, and I hope that the team, everybody remains injury free in training, today and to tomorrow. But yeah, man.
All right then, cool, bro. All right, people, there you go. That's the end of the show. I am Manning's man. As usual, when it gets to this point, hit the like button, subscribe, and share, because we're over and we are out of here.